he comes again next time. Really, nothing happened at all? Seeing that he'd been gloomy the whole time, Yoon-won asked what was wrong. Yaoi didn't want to lie to him, but he was afraid Yoon-won would think he was useless. But if it was his older brother, Yoon-won said it was okay and told him to go ahead and talk. I promise I won't tease you, okay? Yaoi hesitated for a moment, but still decided to tell him. Actually, I have nightmares every Monday. To be precise, they start on Sunday night. Before I went back to school, I was bullied on campus. I don't know when it started, but a rumor spread at school that I was an orphan. They said I wasn't worthy of playing with them, so they began to bully me. Their methods were childish. They picked on my name and kept shouting Monday, Monday. Later, every Monday they would torment me. What I even found ridiculous was that it was only that one day of the week that I'd be bullied. I gradually got used to being beaten and to being ignored. I had originally wanted to hold out until graduation, but then I found out that all of this had actually been my friend's idea. I couldn't even speak clearly. I could only run away like an idiot, and in the end, I simply dropped out. The memory of that day burrows into my dreams every Monday. I'm really tired of all this. I hadn't wanted to see him again, but I ran into him on the subway today, just when I'd finally managed to forget about it. Hearing this, Yoon-won felt a tightness in his chest. He asked which high school Yaoi had attended before. Yaoi said Daehan High School. It's about half an hour from here. Yoon-won asked him again which specific class it was. Yaoi asked why he was suddenly asking that, and Yoon-won said it was nothing. He was just suddenly curious what the 19-year-old Yaoi had really been like. He gently comforted him. This isn't your fault. After bringing him back to the room, Yoon-won told him to sleep first, saying he needed to make a phone call, then turned and walked outside. He told a friend to look into Yoi's former class, and also into that person called COJ. But to Yoil, telling this to Yoon-won felt like tattling to him. Yet this clearly wasn't anything good, and it would only make his older brother worry. From now on, he absolutely wouldn't say anything again. Thinking and thinking, Yoil fell asleep just like that. In his dream, he was back in his childhood again, when he was still at the welfare home. Someone walked over to greet him. You're one Yoil? My name is Gang COJ. I'm the same age as you. When were you abandoned by your parents? Yoil didn't understand what he meant, and only said that he had been born here. Gang COJ found that impossible. Then that means your mom and dad dumped you here right after you were born. Hearing this made Yoil very uncomfortable, and he told him not to say things like that again. But Gang COJ didn't care at all. I was abandoned twice. My second set of parents didn't want me either. Once they had their own child, it was like they didn't need me anymore. Yoil drew on the ground with a twig and comforted him. No, they won't. They'll definitely come to pick you up. Suddenly, Gang COJ snatched the twig from his hand. Then, next to the little stick figure he had drawn, he drew another little person. Will you be my friend? Let's be each other's friends. After that, Yoil really treated him as his best friend. The feeling of making a friend for the first time was so wonderful, and he was very glad to have someone by his side who felt like family. He thought that Gang COJ felt the same way, but later Yoil realized this was just his own illusion. When he was being bullied by classmates, Gang COJ walked by, but acted as if he hadn't seen anything. He turned his head and started chatting and laughing with the classmates next to him. So why is he only coming to apologize now, of all times? Is his apology really sincere? Whatever, I don't want to think about it anymore. At that moment, Yoon-won came back after finishing his phone call. Still not asleep? You have to get up early tomorrow. Yoil said he couldn't fall asleep. The next second, Yoon-won came over and hugged him. I'm sorry, I hurt you without meaning to. Yoil froze, not knowing what he was talking about. Pressed close to him, Yoon-won spoke in a very low voice. Even if you don't hold it against them, I'll still teach them a lesson. Whether it's in a dream or in reality, I won't let them come anywhere near you, so that Yoil wouldn't keep feeling guilty about the tuition. Yoon-won introduced him to a well-paid part-time job. During self-study class that day, Yoil kept worrying about Yun-woo. He hadn't seen him today either, and couldn't reach him no matter how he tried. If he'd known, he would have written his number down. Seeing that he kept spacing out, Yoon-won simply wrote on his test paper, asking him what he was thinking about. After seeing it, Yoil wrote a reply beneath it as well. Yun, who hasn't come to school for several days. What if something happened to him? Yoon-won was silent for a few seconds. Then he picked up his pen and directly crossed out the name Yun-woo that Yoil had written. After that, he crossed out Yun-woo even more forcefully and drew a little bristling kitten beside it. Then he leaned his head on Yoil's shoulder. Suddenly, Yoon-won raised his hand. Teacher, we'd like to go to the nurse's office. The class president has a really high fever. The teacher frowned. You're not the one who's sick. What are you going for? Let the class president go by himself. Yoon-won said he was afraid Yoel might faint, so he wanted to personally take him there. The teacher didn't press further and only told them to come back quickly after dropping him off. Yoel was even more confused. He clearly didn't have a fever, so what on earth was Yoon-won trying to do? In the next second, Yoon-won took Yoel straight up to the rooftop. Yoel reminded him they weren't supposed to just go up to the rooftop. If they were caught, they'd be scolded, and the teacher had told him to hurry back. But Yoon-won said it was fine. School was almost over anyway. Yoel was about to say something more when he suddenly saw Yoon-won smoking. He immediately rushed over to snatch the cigarette away. The two of them tugged back and forth a few times, and Yoel still ended up throwing the cigarette away. Yoon-won took a step forward and suddenly grabbed Yoel from behind in a tight hug. "How can you get mad at me? I hardly ever smoke at school, but all you ever see is that guy." Yoel said he wasn't angry, he was just worried about Yoon-won. After hearing that, Yoon-won went back to fooling around, pulling Yoel along and saying they should play a game here. After they finished, the two of them just leaned there, letting the wind blow over them. Yoon-won asked him, "The art college? Have you decided? Do you want to go with me today?" The dean said we can ask about it anytime. Yoel was silent for a few seconds. Then he looked at Yoon-won and said, "I've decided not to go to university. You already helped pay my cram school fees, and I feel really guilty about that. If I actually got in, I'd have to make you pay my university tuition too. I don't want to keep weighing you down again and again just because I want more." Yoon-won said he had already said it many times. Yoel didn't need to worry about the tuition. At that moment, Yoel cut him off and said, "Put yourself in my shoes for a second. There's no way I wouldn't mind at all. I've received your kindness. Even if I can't go to university, you still have to stay my friend. Okay?" As Yoon-won listened, his heart suddenly ached. "The greedy one isn't you, it's me. I'm the one who wants to go to university with you. Don't you also want to learn drawing? If you think it's too expensive, then I'll introduce you to a part-time job." "A high-paying part-time job, how does that sound?" Yoel looked puzzled. "What kind of high-paying part-time job? You can earn money while playing." I said, "I'll give you 5 million won every month." Yoel was stunned on the spot. "What? Where can you find a part-time job like that? Does such a job really exist?" That day, just as Yoon-won had said, Yoel set out for his older brother's company. He felt both curious and nervous. What kind of part-time job would pay that much money? But then he thought, it's Yoon-won's older brother after all. He wouldn't make him do anything weird, right? Could it be some absurdly difficult task? Would he even be able to do it well? After going upstairs, the assistant led Yoel to the office door. "Director, your guest has arrived." The next second, the office door opened. Seeing the person inside, Yoel's heart skipped a beat. This was way too obvious. At a glance you could tell it was Yoon-won's older brother. Sure enough, Yoel's sincerity moved Yoon-jae in the end. It seemed they really were going to become good friends. As soon as Yoel walked in, Yoon Hyuk spoke first to welcome him. "I heard from Yoon-won that you're a kind and reliable person." Feeling a bit embarrassed, Yoel quickly said, "Yes, I have a lot of part-time experience, and I'm confident I can do any task well. It's just that I'm still not clear on the details. May I ask what I need to do?" Yoon Hyuk smiled and slid another contract in front of you, as if that kid Yoon-won hadn't explained things to you properly at all. "What you need to do is very simple, be friends with my younger brother." Yoel was stunned and felt a strange itch in his heart. Would he be a friend of Yoon-won Hyung? He glanced down, saw the word hemophilia written in the contract, and was even more confused. What's that supposed to mean? Watching him, Yoon Hyuk explained, "I can see you and Yoon-won are already close, but the brother I'm talking about is our youngest one. Ever since he almost got into serious trouble because of a friend, I've been the one choosing the people around him. I want him to learn how to talk with people in a safe environment. Yoon-won keeps telling me that as long as you're willing to be his friend, my shy little brother will be really happy. So I've been wanting to meet you." Still didn't feel real to Yoel. He paused for a moment before speaking. Thank you so much, really, but getting paid just for making friends doesn't feel right to me. I'm not some amazing person, and if he finds out the truth someday, he'll be hurt." Yoon Hyuk told him not to worry. He himself knows about it too. "I'll also arrange some proper work for you later on. We're currently recruiting fit models. Anyway, not long ago, someone couldn't even last a whole day before quitting, saying he really couldn't stand my brother's sharp and sarcastic personality. Are you shy around strangers?" Yoel answered him, "I think I'm not really that shy with new people." Yoon Hyuk softened his tone. "Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just think of it as me introducing you to a friend. This is the contract, and here are some things to keep in mind. Take a look first." After that, Yoel set off for the place where the younger brother lived. Since there were many things to watch out for with that kind of illness, it seemed he had to be extra careful. It felt like he was going to meet an elementary schooler, Yet Yoon-won wanted him to be friends with the boy, so he's probably about the same age as me, right? But I don't even know his name. Is this really okay? All the way there, Yoil was tangled up in these questions. When he reached his younger brother's front door, he lifted his hand and pressed the doorbell. His heart was still tight with nervousness. The next second, the door opened. A teenage boy stepped out. Yoil greeted him politely, and only after seeing him clearly did he realize this guy was definitely not some elementary school kid. The younger brother didn't respond at all, and simply turned around to walk back into the house. Yoil stood there awkwardly, thinking, I should be allowed to go in, right? After he stepped inside, the younger brother still showed no intention of acknowledging him. So Yoil had no choice but to speak first and introduce himself. Hi, my name is Yoil. I'm in my 3rd year of high school and in the same class as Yoon-won. The younger brother looked completely impatient. I don't care who you are. I know you're here for the money. Second brother forced you to come see me, didn't he? That's enough. Hearing that tone, Yoil couldn't help but laugh instead. This personality was way too sensitive. He suddenly remembered the first time he met brother Yoon-won. They really were biological brothers. He then said to the younger brother, I really do need money, but if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have come. The younger brother frowned, as if he didn't understand. Make yourself clear. Yoil looked at him and said bluntly, because you're brother Yoon-won's younger brother. I really like brother Yoon-won the way you like a friend, so I also wanted to get to know his family. The more Yoil talked, the more he said, and the younger brother was left utterly speechless. He really was like an idiot, loud and noisy. Why does second brother want me to get along with someone like this? Then he cut Yoil off directly. Got it. Stop talking. My ears hurt. Suddenly, as if he remembered something, Yoil said, Oh right, I prepared a gift and almost forgot. There was even a cookie placed on top of the macaron. Isn't it kind of amazing? The younger brother stared at it, then suddenly snatched it away. I'm not a child. You think I'd like something like this? Besides, Gu Yoon-hyuk doesn't like me eating this kind of thing. But this little bear is actually kind of cute. No idea who made it, but they did a really good job. It's my first time seeing something like this. Then I'll just try one bite, but actually eating it feels like such a waste. I heard you like little bears, so I bought all the little bear ones left in the shop. It melts fast, eat it quickly. As he spoke, he picked it up to feed him, and at first the younger brother kept dodging. But after that first bite, he realized it was really delicious. TSK. Then the younger brother started eating by himself. Seeing how much he was enjoying the food, Yoil felt genuinely happy. Yoil stared fixedly at him from the side, waiting to hear a single comment from him. Sensing that gaze, the younger brother asked coldly, What are you looking at? Then he lowered his voice and added, If you tell Gu Yoon-hyuk, you're dead. Yoil immediately said, I won't say anything. I'll absolutely keep it secret. Do you want me to write a guarantee? When he heard Yoil say he would buy it for him again next time, the younger brother didn't look forward to it at all. You make it sound like you'll actually come again next time. I know you won't come back. You'll think I'm boring and say you can't talk with me. Yoil was stunned, not understanding why he thought that way. We haven't even really talked properly yet, and I don't like saying empty words. I've been through that too many times, so I will never do that. Keep my word. The younger brother asked him point blank, How long did Gu Yoon-hyuk tell you to do this? I don't need a friend that someone paid for. He really thinks I'm some kind of antisocial personality disorder case. But for my second brother's sake, I can't just lose my temper, which is really annoying. Yoil looked at him and asked, Do you hate this kind of relationship that much? It's a bit special, but it's the same concept as making friends at the start of a new semester. And I want to get closer to you, but that's just how I feel. If you don't like it, I won't come again. You can't force a friendship. At that moment, the younger brother picked up a cookie and handed it to Yoil. With a puzzled expression, Yoil asked, What are you doing? The next second, he heard the younger boy say his own name. So your name is Gu Yoonjae. Thanks, then I'll have a bite too. Yoonjae bristled at once. I only gave it to you to make you shut up. You'd better not say more than one sentence, or I'll kick you out. Yoil nodded obediently, but Yoonjae added, and also, next time buy the same flavor you're eating now. Yoil's eyes lit up and he agreed right away. Thank you, Yoonjae. It's really delicious. Yoonjae coldly reminded him, You've already said 3 sentences. Let's go. At home, Yoon-won kept waiting for Yoil to contact him, his chest tight with worry. He didn't really get made to cry by Yoonjae, did he? Just as he was about to call Yoil, his phone suddenly rang. Yoon-won sprang to his feet and snatched up the phone, but the caller wasn't Yoil. As soon as he picked up, the person on the other end said, we've already caught those 3 guys. They were all scared out of their wits and said they'd spill the whole truth. But they were too flustered and panicked, so lots of details never even got checked. If we dig into it properly, we should still be able to find that remaining person and ask clearly what exactly he's trying to do. Yoon-won told the other party to send him the address. The specifics I want to ask in person. He casually changed his clothes, put on his watch, his face turning so cold it looked vicious, and headed straight out the door. All because he saw the red mark on Yoon-won's clothes. Oil thought Yoon-won had gotten a girlfriend, and his heart immediately sank. He felt especially upset. Yoon-won found that group of people and beat them up on the spot. But that blonde guy still refused to tell the truth. In his account, COJ had always protected Yaoi whenever he was being bullied, and the 2 of them had known each other since they were young and were very close. At this moment, Yoon Hyuk also arrived and called Yoon-won to come down. Yoon-won asked him, "How did you know about this? Hyung, have you been investigating me behind my back? Just how far are you planning to interfere?" Yoon Hyuk shot back, "Do you want to show off fighting violence with violence in front of Yaoi?" Seeing how Yoon-won looked as if he didn't think he was in the wrong at all, Yoon Hyuk held back his anger and tried to reason with him. "This isn't justice. It's violence, and it's meddling in other people's business on top of that. What if you end up dragging yourself into trouble? The more it's a situation like this, the more you need to stay calm. In any case, I'll handle Yoi's situation." Yoon-won cut him off directly. "Don't go messing with Yaoi. He's finally managed to forget. I don't want him to remember it again. Even if I beat them all up, he might not actually feel any better. I'd rather use new, good memories to cover up the wounds of his past." Hearing Yoon Hyuk say this, Yoon-won finally breathed a sigh of relief as well. "Then I'm relieved. If I can get you to say something like that, it seems Yaoi really is a good person. But if you want Yaoi to stay by your side all the time, you can't keep messing around like you did today. If Yaoi finds out about this, he might run away on the spot." After they got out of the car, Yoon Hyuk still didn't forget to warn her. "This is the last time I clean up your mess. Next time you're not allowed to lay a hand on anyone. If Dad finds out, you can forget about going to college. Think it through yourself. And also, don't lose your temper with Yaoi, treat him a little better." Yoon-won stared at the message Yaoi had sent on her phone and felt even more annoyed inside, really not knowing what to do. When she went to pick up Yaoi and bring him home, Yaoi excitedly shared with Yoon-won the funny story of how he had made friends with her younger brother Yoon-jae today. But Yoon-won looked completely out of it. Yaoi couldn't help pressing her. "Who did you go see today?" And he also smelled that Yoon-won had put on perfume today. The more Yaoi talked, the more he kept going, while Yoon-won only said she was a bit tired today. Yaoi immediately got it. He thought she found him noisy. The next second, Yaoi suddenly saw that smear of red on Yoon-won's clothes. He instantly couldn't stop caring about it. She even wore perfume today, which was way too out of character. After they got home, she also went to sleep so early. On the way back, she seemed to be hiding something, not saying a single word. I even thought he would be curious about what exactly I did with Yoon-jae, but I couldn't just ask directly what that red mark actually was. Why were there red stains rubbed onto his clothes? Yoon-won is the kind of person who won't even drop a single grain of rice when he eats, because he just threw his clothes straight into the washing machine. Now there isn't even any evidence left. If it was food stains, he wouldn't be acting this secretive. Normally we always wash together, so why is he suddenly doing his own laundry today, and even going to shower first? There's also something kind of strange on his neck. If it's not lipstick marks, then what else could it be? Does he have a girlfriend now? But so what? What does that have to do with me? Still, he can't help feeling a bit upset. We've already said everything that should and shouldn't be said, and yet he still has to hide even such a small thing from me. It really feels awful inside. He already has someone, so what is he still doing staying by my side and still playing games with me every day? That's clearly something 2 people who like each other do together. The more Yoel thinks about it, the angrier he gets, but he still forces himself to calm down and lies down to sleep. In the end, the whole night just passes like that. Yoel doesn't sleep at all. He feels like he's gonna lose his mind. At that moment, he hears Yoon-won calling him. After he walks out, Yoon-won sees Yoel in the living room and clearly lets out a sigh of relief. He thought he'd gone off somewhere. Yoel asks if he slept well, saying, "You looked really tired last night." Yoon-won says it was okay, then asks back, "What happened to your face?" Yoel pinches his own face and thinks, "He can't tell I didn't sleep all night?" Seeing him like this, Yoon-won can't help laughing. "Your face usually swells up like a pig's head in the morning. How come there's nothing wrong with you today? What are you pinching for? Are you trying to act cute? You're not cute at all." Hearing him say that, Yoel instantly flared up, grabbed a pillow, and hurled it at him. "First thing in the morning you come to bother me. First thing in the morning you start messing with me. Then he stood up and decided to ignore Yoonwon. Yesterday Yoonwon had been in such bad shape. Yet after a night's sleep, he was acting like nothing had happened. Yoonwon still loved to joke around, but something must have happened that day. It's already been 3 days. The perfume scent, the lipstick mark, and the way he deliberately avoids physical contact. Yaoi is sure this isn't his imagination. Is it because Yoonwon has someone now, so he has to keep his distance from me? This sudden change has completely caught me off guard. Did I do something wrong? Before every PE class, Yoonwon would stay with me in the equipment room and play games. But today's Yoonwon is acting really strange. He hasn't done anything at all. He's even participating in class really seriously. It's clearly self-study time, yet he still made a point of coming out. And lately, he's even been working out at home. Looks like Yoonwon has met someone who can make him a better person. Unlike me, who can only keep going with his help. Just as Yaoi was spacing out, Yoonwon suddenly leaned in. What are you doing all by yourself? Yaoi couldn't put it into words for a moment, and Yoonwon was completely baffled by what he heard. Yoonwon raised his hand and touched Yoel's forehead. With the weather lately, it's not even hot enough for heat stroke. Are you worried about your final grades? I've seen how you usually do on exams, and you do really well. I actually thought you were the very last in the whole school, or at least near the bottom, but it turns out your grades are above average. Seeing him reach for his own face again, Yoel asked, "When did you see my report card?" At that moment, Yoonwon's hand froze in midair. Yoel told Yoonwon, "I've gone to school 2 more years than everyone else, so of course I have to do better." Yoonwon suggested, "Let's just play for this week, and starting next week we'll study together. Do you want to go see a movie this weekend?" At that, Yoel remembered what happened last time, and only said, "As long as it's not a horror movie, I'm fine." Yoonwon gave a little laugh. "I'll book the tickets. As for what we're watching, I'm not telling you yet." When Yoel started apologizing again for what happened last time, Yoonwon gently comforted him. "Don't apologize, you're just too kind." But Yoel suddenly felt a sinking in his heart. "Am I kind? I'm obviously still sulking because you have a girlfriend." So from beginning to end, it had all been in his own head. After listening to Yoonwon's explanation, Yoel finally truly relaxed. When the weekend came and they got to the cinema, it was absurdly crowded. Yoel asked Yoonwon what time the movie would start, but Yoonwon only said, "That's a secret." Bored, Yoel lay on the table, spacing out. The next second, he heard the couple next to him talking. They were talking about living together. Yoel grew even more confused. Do people in relationships all become like this? That's so unbelievable. Then that Hyung would also want to spend the whole day with his girlfriend, right? But they don't seem to meet that often either. And after a long time, will they end up living together? Then how much longer will he keep living with me? Yoel started to lose control, spinning scenarios in his head of Yoonwon Hyung making a call. "There's someone living at my place right now." At first I thought he was pitiful, so I let him stay for a while, but he just won't leave. "I've already found a new place. Let's go there and live a good life together, darling." At that thought, Yoel instantly cut his imagination off. "No, stop. Don't let your mind run wild anymore." He clenched his teeth. "I can't drag this out any longer. No matter what, I have to ask him clearly today." Only after walking into the theater did he realize it was that kind of movie, and the place was full of couples. Yoel's heartbeat stumbled. This is strange. Is Hyung really okay like this? He felt that his expression was off. Could it be that he was feeling unwell again, like before? Right after that, Yoel reached out, wanting to support him, and asked in a low voice, "Are you okay?" The next second, he was violently shaken off by Yoonwon. Yoonwon coldly tossed out a line, "I'm fine." At that, Yoel really couldn't hold it together anymore. He truly couldn't keep it in. He stood up on the spot and quickly left the theater. By this point, he more or less understood. After Yoonwon got into a relationship, staying with him made Yoonwon uncomfortable, to the point that he even hated physical contact with him. Just then, Yoonwon ran out after him and grabbed Yoel's wrist. Eyes red, Yoel turned around. "Don't stop me. You don't have to make it this obvious. I'll move out. From now on, you don't need to specially arrange these things, and you don't need to forcibly squeeze out time for me. The things you bought for me during this period, I'll give them all back to you. I only ate a little bit of the popcorn. I'll give you money for that too." After saying that, he put the popcorn down on the floor. Yoonwon held back his anger. "Are you crazy? Pick it up." Yoel turned his head away directly. Ryangyeon asked him, "You're not going to pick it up?" Yoel was trembling all over, but he still squatted down and started putting the spilled popcorn back into the bucket, bit by bit. Yoonwon was even more confused and stared at him, asking, "Are you dreaming or something? You even have the nerve to cry? If you've got something to say, just say it." Yoel hugged the popcorn and couldn't stop crying. "Ever since you got a girlfriend, you've been avoiding me. like I'm some kind of filthy thing. He forced the words out one by one. Yoon-won told him to speak properly, or go to the bathroom and finish crying before coming back. That made Yoel feel even more wronged. You obviously don't like me anymore lately. Yoon-won looked completely puzzled. What are you talking about? Why would I hate you? Hearing Yaomu mention how he just pushed him away, Yoon-won froze on the spot. So that's what you cared about. I have been avoiding you, but it's not because I hate you. How could I possibly hate you? He added another line. I didn't realize this would make you so upset. I'm sorry. When he heard Yoel ask if he had a girlfriend, Yoon-won only felt he was overthinking again, so he simply decided to take him home and talk things through properly once they got back. After they got home and Yoel finished listening to Yoon-won's explanation, he stared at him and asked, "Is everything you said true?" Looking at him, Yoon-won said seriously, "Of course. So after that kiss with you on the rooftop, I haven't touched you again. I'm afraid that once I start, I won't be able to control myself." As soon as he heard that, Yoel finally felt at ease. So, Yoon-won didn't have a girlfriend. After he learned about my past, he regretted being so self-indulgent all this time, so he kept avoiding me. And I didn't even ask anything clearly before I went and threw a tantrum. Seeing the way he looked, Yoon-won couldn't help but burst out laughing. I just didn't play games with you for a few days? Did you really have to get this mad? Why were you so upset? Do you really like being with me that much? Hearing that, Yoel was instantly so embarrassed he couldn't take it, and immediately burrowed his whole body under the covers. That's not what I meant, that's not what I meant, that's not what I meant. After a while, he finally poked his head out and quietly confirmed again. You really don't have a girlfriend? Yoon-won yanked his blanket with one pull. If you keep talking nonsense, I'm going to spank your butt. Hearing him say it so plainly, Yoel finally stopped doubting and, taking the chance, poured out everything that had been weighing on his heart these days. After learning what he was really thinking, Yoon-won was overjoyed as well. Then, the two of them started fooling around again. Looking at the Yoon-won right in front of him, Yoel instead was the first to pull him closer. Because of that game last night, Yoon-won directly gave Yoel a nickname, Bobby. The next day at school, Yoon-won kept using that nickname to tease him. Little Bobby, if you want to go to the bathroom, remember to tell me first. You hear? Yoel was so angry that his fists clenched. But seeing his fierce expression, Yoon-won only thought he was unbearably cute. He reached out and pinched Yoel's cheeks. Are you going to bite your owner next? Then how should I train you? Just as the two of them were still messing around, a classmate came over to remind Yoon-won that it was his turn to go to the teacher for counseling. Only then did Yoon-won let go of Yoel and told Yoel to sit here obediently and wait for him to come back. As soon as Yoon-won left, Yoel felt like he was about to explode. Being called Bobby by him nonstop, and also because last night he had really, at that moment, he suddenly heard someone calling him. Hyung, long time no see. Yoel looked up, and it was actually Yun-hoo. The moment Yoel saw Yun-hoo's arm, he immediately tensed up and asked what had happened. Yun-hoo said he had fallen down the stairs. Yoel was even more confused and asked when it had happened. Yun-hoo shot back that he was seriously injured, had been hospitalized, and had even sent him texts asking him to visit, so why hadn't he replied to a single one? Yoel hurriedly apologized and said that he had just changed to a new phone and a new number some time ago, and all his old contacts were gone. Yun-hoo handed his phone over. I figured as much. I know you wouldn't deliberately avoid me. Tell me your new number. Yoel hurriedly took the phone and entered his number. Sorry, I didn't manage to contact you in time. I went to your class to look for you, but you were never there. Your classmates all said they didn't know where you'd gone. Looking at him, Yun-hoo spoke very softly. If you really feel that bad about it, come over to my house another day. Grandma misses you and wants to cook for you. Hyung. Yoel froze. Really? He quickly added, if you invite me, I'll definitely go. But he still felt it was strange. Hadn't Cho Yun-hoo always hated having people over at his house? During this break, Yoel thought about a lot of things. Just then, the bell for class rang. Before leaving, Yun-hoo said to him, I'll go back and ask Grandma first, then I'll contact you. On his way out, he had just reached the doorway when he ran right into Yoon-won, who was coming back. When he returned to his seat and class started. Furious, Yoon-won immediately wrote a note to Yoel. Do you have a death wish? After reading it, Yoel was completely confused. He wrote back, No, I don't. Yoon-won wrote again. Didn't I tell you to sit tight and wait for me to come back? The next second, Yoon-won grabbed Yoel's arm hard, as if to warn him on the spot. He was absolutely not allowed to hang out with Cho Yun-hoo. Yoel completely had no idea what kind of fit he was throwing. The next second, Yoon-won raised his hand and flicked his nose. I'm so sleepy. I'm going to take a nap. On the way back home after school, Yoel received the wages Yoon-won's older brother had transferred over, and his whole body went stiff. He clearly hadn't really done much work yet. Yoon-won, however, looked completely matter-of-fact. Only when the money's in place do you have the motivation to work. Then Yoonwon asked him again, have you decided which major you're going to choose? Yoel said, I think design might be easier to find a job with in the future, but I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about these things seriously, and I also don't know where to even start preparing. Yoonwon told Yoel to go and get some advice first. The teachers would explain everything in detail. When they arrived at the place where the class was held, Yoel found a teacher and started asking for advice. In the consultation room, the teacher said to Yoel, with Yoel's current grades, his regular scores alone are enough to get him into a Korean university. But visual communication design is highly competitive, and if he doesn't want to take a risk, he can also put other majors on his backup list. Although you don't have hands-on experience and you started later than others, as long as you're willing to put in the effort, you'll get results. Many students get in this way. Once the strategy is set, it's not that hard. Just as Yoonwon was waiting for Yoel, suddenly a girl who was in a hurry rushed past beside him. In a moment of carelessness, she bumped into Yoonwon. The girl kept apologizing as she quickly picked up the paintbrushes that had fallen to the ground. Yoonwon also crouched down to help her. But just as he picked up that paintbrush, Yoonwon suddenly froze all over. In an instant, this scene pulled him back to his childhood. The girl felt something was off with him and urged, hurry up and give it to me. By the time Yoonwon finally snapped out of it, the girl had already run far away. It felt like something was blocking Yoonwon's chest so he couldn't breathe. Images of his mom from when he was little kept surging into his mind again and again. Yoonwon tried hard to make himself see what was in front of him clearly, and in the next second, he saw that in the classroom, Yoel was earnestly consulting the teacher. At first, Yoonwon had worried that after Yoel went to college, he wouldn't have time to be with him. But after hearing what Yoel was thinking, Yoonwon made up his mind on the spot. He was going to support Yoel. When the advising session ended, Yoel sent Yoonwon a message. Knowing he was on the first floor, he came downstairs to find him. Yoonwon asked with concern how the consultation went, and Yoel said it went pretty well. When it came to going to college, Yoel could hardly believe it and asked Yoonwon, can I really go? Yoonwon told him, it's real, of course you should go. Then he asked, is it enough to just come here for one class a week? Yoel said no, because he had started too late. He had to come to class every day and also do extra lessons on the weekends to catch up with everyone else's progress. On weekdays, he would have to go to the cram school right after regular classes. The good thing was that the weekend lessons were in the morning. From now on, he would only be able to see Yoonjae on weekends. I need to contact Yoonjae in advance. He talked so much about Yoel, yet didn't mention himself in a single sentence. So Yoonwon suddenly felt disappointed, her heart sinking. What about me, then? Don't you need to set aside time to be with me anymore? If you start acting like this now, I won't let you go to college. Whether it's your goal or your outcome, it all has to be me. Then Yoonwon stepped forward and grabbed Yoel. Why are you so happy? But when Yoel turned around, Yoonwon realized he was actually crying. He immediately asked, what's wrong? Yoel wiped away his tears. I don't even know why this suddenly happened. Seriously, my tears just won't stop. I'm obviously really happy, but it just feels so weird. Yoonwon asked him, is it because you're so happy that you're crying? But Yoel still couldn't explain the reason. Why couldn't Yoel explain the reason either? Yoel said this was his first time crying from happiness, and for some reason he'd even gotten all excited. It was so embarrassing. Yoonwon stepped forward and bumped him lightly with her shoulder. You're only going to get busier from now on. What's there to be so happy about? Hearing that it was because of himself, Yoonwon suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. What are you talking about now? Yoel smiled brightly. When I'm with my brother, good things always happen. Today too, thanks to you, I stopped having those dreams and even managed to successfully sign up for the cram school. Yoonwon looked at him. So, you're this happy because I've done so many things for you? Yoel shook his head. No, it's because you're a good person. No, that's not it. It's because I like you, so I feel like everything about you is good. When he said that, Yoonwon felt even more embarrassed. Yoel was overjoyed. I also feel that doing these things together with you makes them more meaningful. Yoonwon's heart tightened. I didn't expect Yoel to think this way. Yoonwon changed his mind on the spot. His gaze suddenly softened, and his tone grew indulgent. Go do it, and take it seriously. I'll be cheering you on. It's too hot. Let's go eat something cold. The two of them were about to go have some ice cream. On the way, Yoonwon ran into some old high school friends. One of them had just broken up and was crouching there, crying in complete despair. Seeing that they were people Yoonwon knew, Yoel also walked up to say hello. Looking at his friend in that state, Yoonwon really didn't feel like dealing with it. As the two of them talked and talked, They ended up chasing after each other and running off into the distance. After Yoon-won took Yoael to buy ice cream, they went to sit on a swing nearby, and he naturally brought up the two people from just now. They're my high school friends I'm not proud to show to others. The one with the ash-gray hair is the one who once introduced me to an art class. In a small voice, Yoael asked, "Aren't you going to check on them? Your friend looks really upset." Calmly, Yoon-won replied, "It has nothing to do with me. Who told him to fall in love? Anyway, sooner or later they'll break up." Yoael stared at him. "Hyung, you just don't fall in love, do you?" He heard Yoon-won say, "Yes." Yoael pressed further. "Then what if you meet someone you really like?" Yoon-won told him, "Whether it's love or being in a relationship, it's all just a fantasy. To put it bluntly, it's nothing but a game, because no one can guarantee being together forever. That's why people are afraid. That's why they say those things, wanting to tie the other person down. But in the end, how much meaning can a single word really have?" After he finished saying this, the air fell silent again for a few seconds. Yoon-won asked Yoael in return, "Do you think things like love are important?" Yoael paused for a moment and thought carefully. "How should I put it? In the past, there wasn't even anyone around me who would talk about this." Yoon-won turned his face to the side and stared at Yoael beside him. Then he continued speaking. "I think the way things are now is great. We'll never break up." The more Yoael listened, the more confused he felt. What on earth did he mean by that? At this moment, Yoon-won stood up. It turned out he had named the cat Shiju. Because of this, seeing Yoon-won light another cigarette, Yoael frowned. "Didn't you say you'd quit?" Yoon-won answered, "I'll quit starting tomorrow. I already bought them. Wouldn't it be a waste not to finish them?" One excuse after another. "I'll cut up the cigarettes as soon as I get home later." Suddenly something jumped down from above, and Yoael was startled on the spot. When he looked down, it was a black cat. It was the same one Yoon-won had called Shiju earlier. As soon as the kitten came closer, Yoon-won casually stubbed out his cigarette too. He then crouched down and reached out his hand, gesturing for the kitten to come over. Yoael thought he was calling him, and walked over on reflex. Yoon-won lifted his eyes. "I wasn't calling you." Heat rushed to Yoael's face. He was instantly embarrassed. He was so gentle with the cat, but toward him, his attitude was completely different. A sour feeling surged up in Yoael's chest all at once. Yoon-won said to Shiju, "Today, I'll introduce you to a friend. Bobby, come here." Yoael asked, "Do you really like kittens?" Yoon-won replied coolly, "Shiju is very cute." Yoael was even more confused. "Then why is it called Shiju? Its fur isn't even Shiju colored." Right then, Shiju was getting a little impatient from being petted by Yoon-won. Yoon-won quickly soothed it. "Is it because that guy next to you is talking too much and scared you? You're a puppy, you know, Bobby still pees everywhere. Unlike our Shiju, who's especially good at finding the bathroom." When Yoael heard that, his face instantly flushed red to the tips of his ears. Then he held his breath, stood up, and turned to leave. "See that? The more he acts like this, the more I want to tease him. I'll go coax him. Next time I'll bring snacks." Yoon-won immediately ran after him. "Are you angry?" Yoael turned his head aside and replied coldly, "No." At that moment, Yoon-won suddenly remembered that winter night. That night he had run alone into this alley and, from a distance, saw someone up ahead feeding cats. He felt so unwell that he simply sat down on the ground, sucking in a sharp breath from the pain, and the boy heard the sound and looked over. The boy walked up to him and asked in a low voice, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" The boy was just about to take out his phone to call an ambulance for him. Yoon-won immediately stopped him and told him not to call. Seeing the state he was in, obviously not right, the boy frowned and asked, "Is your stomach hurting?" Yoon-won forced himself to say, "I'm just hungry, that's all. You can get lost now." The boy didn't leave. Instead, he unzipped his backpack and bent his head to rummage for food for him. After a while, he took out a piece of cake. "It's one day past the expiration date, but it should still be edible. Today is my birthday, so I brought it. If you finish all of this, you won't be hungry anymore." The boy stood up. "I have to go to my part-time job. You should hurry home too." But then, as if something occurred to him, he paused. The boy turned back to look at him, his voice softening. "Go find somewhere warmer to rest." With that, he left. Yoon-won went back home and washed up. He stared at the burger and cake that person had left on the table. Then he tore open the wrapper of the burger. He only remembered the boys' school uniform. Strange. Could he be a student from Bay High School? Although the burger had long gone cold and was almost tasteless, that long-lost kindness still pulled him back all at once, suddenly lifting his spirits and even stirring in him the urge to return to everyday life. Just like that, Yoon-won went back to school. Returning to the very high school he had impulsively filed a voluntary withdrawal from back then. He also cut off contact with those gaming friends and started desperately searching for that student who kept breaking into his thoughts. But he couldn't even recall what the boy's voice sounded like, nor clearly remember his height. In that little alley where they had met, only stray kittens showed up from time to time. So Yoonwon often came to that alley to feed them. "You're that kitty from last time, right? Do you still remember the person who fed you? Is this why you've been waiting for me?" Because of it, Yoonwon had recently been watching only cat videos. Don't eat too many cat sticks. They're bad for your health. Have you been putting on weight lately? It's okay to be a bit chubby. Then just wait for me to come feed you every day. Make sure you don't dash around on the driveway. I'll give you a name, Shiju. How about it? Do you like it? I've even given you a name, so you have to live a long life. It was only after meeting Yoil that Yoonwon completely forgot about this. Turns out that day when Yoonwon and Yoil were kissing, they were seen by Yeonhoo. Hearing this from Yeonhoo's mouth at this moment, Yoil panicked instantly. After they got home and saw Yoil curled up alone on the sofa, Yoonwon asked him, "Are you angry?" Yoil dodged directly and coldly tossed out, "No," but Yoonwon could tell Yoil was clearly sulking. So Yoonwon had no choice but to say, "I won't tease you about being the PP King anymore." Yoil immediately lowered his head. "That's not the reason." Pressed by Yoonwon's questions, Yoil finally said what he'd been holding back. "Hyung, you asked me to smoke with you, but you stay far away from the kitten just because you're afraid it will smell the smoke. And it's not like I wanted to grow up to be like this either. Anyway, I'm not saying how sad I am. I just wanted to say." Yoonwon listened with a completely baffled look, trying hard to guess what he was actually trying to say. But he still couldn't understand, so he had to ask what Yoil was randomly imagining this time. Seeing that Yoonwon just couldn't grasp the point, Yoil simply put it more bluntly. "You dislike how I look like this, but then you turn around and gush over how cute the kitten is. Same with the cigarettes, you won't even let the kitten smell the smoke. Yet you don't hesitate to drag me along to smoke with you. I hate the smell of smoke too." Anyway, at that moment, Yoonwon suddenly burst out laughing. "I get it now. So you're actually jealous, and you're jealous of the kitten." Yoil immediately shot back, "I am not. Didn't you get jealous of a game item last time too?" Yoonwon found him unbearably cute and told him there's no way a game item and a kitten could be the same. When game items were mentioned, a new idea suddenly occurred to Yoonwon. He told Yoil to be good and wait for him here first. The next day, because he was going to meet Yeonhoo, Yoil had his mind completely on that and hadn't had the chance to tell Yoonwon yet. He thought, "I'm just going to see Yeonhoo. It's not like I'm doing anything bad. There's no need to worry about Yoonwon's reaction, right? But Yoonwon hates it when I hang out with Yeonhoo. Looks like I'd better keep it from him for now." Just then, Yoonwon asked Yoil what he wanted to do after they finished eating. "You've been busy with cram classes all week and haven't played with me at all. Want to go to Namsan? I heard it'll rain tonight, so we should go and come back quickly." Seeing that Yoil didn't react much, Yoonwon followed up and asked him if he didn't want to go. Yoil immediately denied it. "No, it's not that. I really do want to go. It's just that today I have a bit of something else to do." And of all times, Yoonwon is still here pressing him and refusing to let it go. Yoil instantly felt guilty, and between telling the truth and hiding it from Yoonwon, he chose the latter. He then added another line. "Today is the director's birthday." Hearing that, Yoonwon decided not to go with him. "You go say hello to the director yourself, then come home early." Yoonwon could tell they hadn't seen each other for a long time either, so he let Yoil go without worry. "Once you get there, stay put. If you call, I'll come pick you up." The next second, Yoil hurriedly refused. "No need, it's really close from here. I'll be back soon." Before sending Yoil out the door, Yoonwon still wasn't at ease. "Did you bring everything? Did you buy a gift? Do you want to use my card?" Yoil immediately said there was no need. "I've got money. I'm planning to buy something while I'm out walking around." Yoonwon even wanted to personally take him there, but Yoil stopped him right away. "You really don't have to. Haven't you been picking me up from cram school every day lately? You should rest. I'll go and come back quickly." So Yoonwon stayed home like that, waiting for Yoil to come back. 30 minutes passed, and there was still no sign of him. Yoonwon was already getting annoyed. Once Yoil stepped out the door, he couldn't be reached. At that moment on TV, they just happened to be showing a scene about giving birthday presents. That naturally reminded Yoonwon of something Yoil had said before. To him, the director was like a mother. He thought, then when I go pick up Yoil, I'll stop by to greet the director and prepare a birthday gift as well. So he opened his phone and started searching. At first he still searched for gift for mom, but as he looked at those entries, Yoonwon's hand paused, and he directly changed it to Birthday gift for mother-in-law. After picking out the gift, Yoon-won went to take a shower. However, as soon as he got to the getting dressed step, he got stuck again. He just felt that none of these outfits looked quite right on him. If he wore a suit, would that be too over the top? But when he compared them, this set still looked the most like something for a formal occasion. He then started tidying himself up. He even took off the earring he always wore. He also carefully covered the scar on his face with a bandage. On the other side, Yoel had already started eating dinner at Yeonhoo's house. Yeonhoo's grandmother was especially warm. "I don't know if it suits your taste. Is it good?" Yoel replied with a smile. "Of course it's good. It's really delicious." Grandmother became even happier. "Seeing you eat so heartily, I feel relieved. Our grandson is always talking to me about you. Just like he said, you're really handsome." Hearing this, Yeonhoo immediately couldn't sit still. "Grandma, why are you saying that again? Hurry and eat." But Grandma didn't mind at all. "I'm just telling the truth." After dinner, Yeonhoo got ready to cut some fruit and told Yoel to go wait in his room for a while. After that, Yoel went into Yeonhoo's room. "I'm so full. Grandma kept putting food in my bowl. I ate 2 big bowls. I was even supposed to have dinner with Yoon-won-hyung." Just then, he heard Grandma say she was going out to the market and told Yeonhoo to stay home and play with Yoel. Listening to their conversation, Yoel thought to himself, the relationship between Yeonhoo and Grandma is really good. I wonder what Yoon-won-hyung is doing now. He must be really bored all by himself. It's about 6:30 now, I should be heading back too. At that moment, Yeonhoo came in. "Hyung, why are you sitting on the floor? Have an apple." Yoel thanked him, but then wondered where his family was. Where had they all gone? Yeonhoo asked back if he was looking for his older sisters. They should be at the dorm. Only then did Yoel notice that the cast on Yeonhoo's arm had already been removed. So Yoel asked how he had hurt his arm before. "I remember you said you fell down the stairs." Yeonhoo was silent for a few seconds. Only then did he tell Yoel. He had been shaking with anger and missed his step while jumping down the stairs, and that's how he fell. Yoel was even more confused. "Why were you angry?" At this, Yeonhoo looked up and asked his Hyung, "You and Gu Yoon-won, when did you start seeing each other?" When Yoel heard this, his whole body froze on the spot, and the apple in his hand dropped straight to the floor. Yeonhoo bent down to stick the apples back in place. "You're really too careless. That day I saw everything, the two of you kissing behind the lockers." Yoel's expression instantly fell apart. He opened his mouth, trying to explain. At that moment, Yeonhoo said to his brother, "I won't tell anyone, and I won't use this as leverage against you. What I mean is, this whole thing made me so jealous that I even fell down the stairs. I was clearly the one who liked you first. From the first time I saw you, I already liked you. If I had known earlier that you could accept guys, I definitely would have confessed to you before he did. I know it's already too late now, but I still like you. I didn't want to say all of this so suddenly either. I mean, I've thought about it for a long time and sorted out my feelings, but I can't accept giving up without even getting a confession out." Only then did Yoel realize that it seemed like Yeonhoo also liked Yoon-won. For a moment, Yoel had no idea what to do. Struck by Yeonhoo's sudden confession, Yoel was completely thrown off and didn't know what to do with himself. Even though he clearly knew that Yoel was dating Gu Yoon-won, he had tried to give up but found it was nowhere near that simple. "I have to hear you reject me with your own mouth before I can give up. So please say it, that you don't like me." Yoel told Yeonhoo to wait a moment, then pulled the conversation back to what he had just said about dating. "You mean me and Yoon-won-hyung?" Yeonhoo said he would keep the secret for the rest of his life, so Yoel didn't have to keep hiding like this. This would only make Yeonhoo feel worse. Yoel looked at him and said quietly, "It's not like that, because I really am not in a relationship with Yoon-won-hyung." Yeonhoo was stunned on the spot. "You're not dating? Then why did you two kiss?" Yoel said he didn't know either. Yeonhoo pressed him. "Are you crazy? Did that guy threaten you?" Yoel shook his head. "No, I agreed to it myself." Yeonhoo almost passed out. "Then what exactly is your relationship?" At that, Yoel paused for a moment. "Actually, I'm really curious about that too. I really can't figure out what Hyung is thinking. He clearly doesn't like me, yet he treats me so well." The more Yeonhoo spoke, the more worked up he got. "Didn't you say you wouldn't date anyone? Then why did you kiss? Aren't you angry? I'm honestly speechless. Other people want to kiss and can't. But you, has that guy really never said something like, 'I like you' to you? Does he just not want to date you at all and only wants to play games with you? I really can't figure it out." "Hyung, do you like Gu Yoon-won?" Yoel was silent for a second, then said, "Yeah, I think I've fallen for him." Hearing how unsure he sounded, Yeonhoo was even more confused. "If you like him, just tell him straight up, because I can't tell myself whether this is the liking a friend kind of feeling or the wanna date him kind of liking. Yun, who felt like his head was about to explode. Hyung, you know what? Once a thought like that pops up, it's really hard to stay just friends. It honestly sucks. Since someone you like is thinking that way, I should have been feeling sad. But right now you're just way too worrying. When Yaoi asked him, aren't you embarrassed? Yun, who looked completely confused. Embarrassed about what? About saying stuff like, I like you. Yun, who said he didn't feel that way at all, that it didn't feel like anything special to say it out loud. Then he stared at Yaoi again and asked, but I really did get dumped by you, right? Honestly, I've always thought of you as a cute little brother. I know things will be really awkward between us, but we can still be good friends like before, right? Yun, who fell silent for a few seconds. The next second, he suddenly jumped to his feet. Wow, that's actually the longest thing you've said all day, and it's you rejecting me. I'm really hurt. Seeing him like that, Yoel hurried to apologize. Then he rushed to add, didn't you say you wanted me to turn you down? Yun, who said he'd just been joking, told him not to look for excuses for himself, and that there was no need to comfort him. Anyway, as your Hyung's friend, I won't interfere with your love life from now on. You know the two of you don't have an ordinary relationship, right? Since you like Gu Yun-won, then go confess to him. Or clear things up between you two in some other way. I don't want you to get hurt. He grew more and more agitated as he spoke. He's not just some gaming buddy you queue up with. Is that guy just messing with you? If it were me, I would never do that. Your taste is way too bad. It was only then that he noticed the look on Yoel's face. Yun-hoo's heart sank. Did I go too far? He immediately tried to explain himself. At that moment, Yoel cut him off in tears. Don't say that. Yun-won Hyung is a really good person. To me, he's like a benefactor. Seeing him cry, Yun-hoo panicked at once and hurried to apologize to him. Eyes red, Yoel blurted out the big news. Yun-hoo, I don't want to just be friends with Hyung. Yun-hoo looked utterly dumbfounded. That's the big news? Is this your first time liking someone? Yoel nodded. The first time. I want to stay by his side all the time. I want to see him whenever I can. I get jealous over the smallest things. This is what liking someone is, right? Hearing that, for a moment Yun-hoo didn't know how to respond. After a while, Yoel finally managed to suppress his emotions. He stood up, ready to head back. Seeing how badly swollen his eyes were, Yun-hoo urged him to put some ice on them before leaving. It's still pouring outside. Yoel shook his head. It's fine. Hyung is waiting for me at home. The next second, Yun-hoo exploded on the spot. Home? You two are living together? Are you out of your minds? Yoel smiled awkwardly. Ha, I didn't tell you? Yun-hoo, thank you so much for today. See you at school. With that, he rushed out. Once outside, Yoel let out a long sigh. They clearly came out to have fun. So how did it end up like this? I can't drag this out any longer. Should I confess to him? But he clearly said he doesn't want to date anyone. I'll definitely be rejected. If he doesn't kick me out, that'll already be considered my good luck. If I get rejected like Yun-hoo did, will I still be able to give up? On the other side, when Yun-won hurried to the director, he heard the director say that Yoel wasn't there. Yun-won froze on the spot. The director was also puzzled. Did Yoel make a mistake? Today isn't my birthday, and he never said he'd come. Did you two agree to meet here? In a low voice, Yun-won said, no. Then he stood up to leave, his tone polite yet distant. Then I'll come visit you again with Yoel next time. I'll be going now. The director looked at the things he had brought and was just about to ask what they were when Yun-won quietly said, please accept this small token of my appreciation. And also, could you please keep my visit today a secret from Yoel for now? Thank you for raising him. Goodbye. After walking out, Yun-won called Yoel again and again, but no one ever picked up on the other end of the line. Meanwhile, Yoel stared at the incoming calls that kept popping up on the screen, his heart tightening in panic, completely not daring to answer. He was afraid that the moment he heard Yun-won's voice, he wouldn't be able to keep up the act anymore. He thought he should send a message first, calm his emotions before going home, and adjust his state. Yun-won received a text from Yoel. The second he saw the contents clearly, he completely froze. His hand gripping the steering wheel tightened more and more, his knuckles turning white. The next second, he suddenly flung his phone backward. What on earth is he doing? Why did he lie to me? Has he been lying to me like this the whole time? Have I never given him even a single chance? No, what if this is just my misunderstanding again? After arguing with Yun-won, Yoel directly ran away from home. When he came back, he found all the lights in the house turned off. Yoel paused in surprise. Has Yun-won Hyung gone out too? He walked in and tried calling out to him a few times. Then he asked again, Hyung, are you home? But in the next second, he suddenly saw Yun-won sitting on the sofa, and Yoel was so startled his heart clenched. Hyung, Why did you turn off all the lights? I bought some food, so I came back late. It's raining outside, you'd better not go out. At that moment, Yoonwon cut him off directly. Did you have fun? Yoel was taken aback. Are you talking about the party? It was pretty interesting. I haven't seen the director in a long time, so I was really happy. Yoonwon's tone was as cold as ice. Staring at him, he asked again, was it fun? Then he told Yoel to hand over his phone. Yoel looked confused. Why do you want my phone? But he still passed the phone into Yoonwon's hand. Right then and there, Yoonwon opened it and started checking his chat history. At this moment, Yoel still hadn't reacted. What on earth was going on? And why was he wearing a suit? The next second, Yoonwon directly read out the chat between him and Yeonhu. Yoel's whole body instantly froze. Staring at him, Yoonwon asked, are you really that oblivious? Or just pretending not to understand? Yoel was stuck for a moment, completely at a loss for how to respond. Suppressing his anger, Yoonwon spoke. Is this how casually you fob me off? I'll give you time to think it through. Come on, start your performance. 1 minute. At that moment, thunder and lightning were raging outside. Yoel still chose to lower his head and apologize first. In an icy voice, Yoonwon asked him, do you still not get enough to eat with me around? You even lied to me just so you could go to his place. Yoel hurried to explain. Because you don't like me hanging out with Yeonhu, I couldn't tell you the truth. Yoonwon issued the order on the spot. Since you know that, you shouldn't have gone. From today on, you are not allowed to go out without me accompanying you. I'll check every day, so don't even think about secretly contacting him. Block him right now, immediately. Yoel stepped forward, trying to snatch his phone back. Why does it have to go this far? Hyung, it's not like we're in that kind of relationship. Aren't we just gaming buddies? Checking my phone is way too much, isn't it? Yoonwon was stunned on the spot. What did you just say? Only then did Yoel realize he had said the wrong thing, and he immediately tried to make up for it and explain. Just then, a new message from Yeonhu popped up on the phone. Bro, you left 500 yuan on my bed. It must have fallen out just now when you were lying there. If you want it back, you can come over to my place next time. Yoonwon looked at this scene, so angry that he actually laughed instead, and cursed through gritted teeth. Just as I guessed, you were playing games with him. I was wondering why your eyes were swollen. Were you so happy playing games that you cried? You and I are just duo queuing in games, so what does that make you and him? Are you two dating? It's not what Yoonwon thinks. I just went to have a meal with Yeonhu. Furious, Yoonwon yanked his tie loose. You think I'm going to believe that crap? Yoel shot back and asked why he wouldn't believe him. At this moment, Yoonwon took off his jacket. The next second, he flung it hard to the side. You just stabbed me in the back, and now you still want me to trust you? As the quarrel went on, Yoel finally spoke his true feelings. I like you, but how could I possibly keep up that kind of relationship forever? Lying to you was my fault, but Yeonhu and I really are just friends. I don't have feelings for him. This is the first time I've liked someone this much. Staring at him, Yoonwon asked, do you really think that you and I are just in a sponsorship relationship? Holding back his emotions, Yoel replied, because I'm surviving off you right now, you treat it as payment and want me to play games with you. Is that it? If you're only good to me because of that, then I'll also start taking this heart back from now on. From now on, I won't accept any more kindness from you. Please don't let me misunderstand again. Seeing that Yoel was about to leave, Yoonwon grabbed him and quietly asked where he was going. Yoel looked at him and said he was going somewhere without Yoonwon to sort out his thoughts, and told Yoonwon to let go. With a stern face, Yoonwon said, it's still raining outside. I'll go out, you stay at home. Yoel forcefully shook off his hand. This is your home. Why are you the one going out? The one who should leave is me. Seeing Yoel like this now, Yoonwon hurriedly stepped forward to block him. In the state you're in right now, where can you even go? You don't have anywhere to go either. Do you? Get some sleep first. We'll talk tomorrow. Go sleep in the bed. After saying that, Yoonwon turned around and went out. After a while, Yoonwon came back. He immediately saw a pile of Yoel's shoes arranged by the door. Strange. Did Yoel fall asleep? Yoonwon walked into the room. But in the room, there was no sign of Yoel at all. Yoonwon's heart suddenly sank. He immediately rushed outside to look for him. Right after that, he called Yoel. Even stranger, did he go out? At that moment, on the table beside him, Yoonwon's phone suddenly rang. He even went out without taking his phone? The moment I'm not by his side, he starts getting this scatterbrained. It's already so late. Where on earth did he go? At this moment, Yoonwon's gaze went back to that pile of shoes. Only then did Yoonwon realize, I knew it. How could they be lined up so neatly? So it turns out he put all the shoes I bought him back here. So this means he's made up his mind not to come back. On the other side, the sauna. Yoel is lying in one of the kiln rooms. At last, The day he'd been waiting for has finally come. I don't deserve to like someone. I'm the one who's too greedy because I have nothing at all. Tomorrow I'll go to the cram school first, then buy a new phone. Before I go look for Yoonjae, I'll stop by to see the place. I can't just keep living in a sauna forever. I can forget it. I'll just go back to my old daily life, that's all. Over here, Yoonwon has turned over every possible place he can think of, but still hasn't found Yoil at the welfare home. He runs over to Yunhoo's house again, but Yoil still isn't there. Yoonwon is so mad he loses control, cursing one word after another. Later he goes back home, doesn't sleep all night, and stays up straight through to the next day. Why won't you come back to get your phone? What can you even do without a phone? Should I have them help me look for him first? Just then, Yoil's phone suddenly starts ringing like crazy. Yoonwon jerks his head up. He sees it's a message Yoonjae sent to Yoil. He was already annoyed, and on top of that, it just had to be something Yoonjae sent in that kind of tone. Yoonwon fires back at him right there in the chat box. The other person gets a reply and is immediately met with a stream of curses. Yoonjae explodes on the spot. Gu Yoon Hayak, I just got cursed out. This Monday, I really am like a lunatic. With that, he shoves the phone at him to see. Yoon Hayak stared at the content on the screen. The more he looked at it, the more familiar it felt. Yoonjae ground his teeth. I definitely won't let him off today. At that moment, the doorbell also started ringing like crazy. Yoonjae rushed to open the door. Quit pressing it. Does he have a split personality or what? But as soon as the door opened, it wasn't Yoil at all. Yoonwon was standing outside, looking at him provocatively. Long time no see. I had already thrown the macarons away on the way here. I never expected Yoonwon and Yoil to actually make up, and even flaunt their affection right in front of me. Yoonjae was so pissed off by them that he just walked out. After that, Yoil carefully recorded all the recent important matters and related expenses, and the first thing was going to the art academy for classes. Then he went to buy a phone, deliberately picking the cheapest one. Next, he went to rent a room at a Gashawon, one close to the school. Finally, he went to see Yoonjae. Today was the first day to try on the outfit. Standing at Yoonjae's front door, Yoil reminded himself in his head, keep your emotions under control. As soon as the door opened, Yoil immediately put on a smile and greeted Yoonjae. Yoonjae looked exhausted. What took you so long? Didn't we agree to meet at 5 today? The next second, Yoonjae just grabbed him and dragged him inside. Seeing how anxious he was, Yoil thought he really was late and quickly apologized. Did you message me? I changed my phone, so I might not have seen it. The moment he lifted his eyes after stepping in, Yoil froze. Yoonwon was sitting right there, staring straight at him. Wow, I didn't expect to run into you here. Yoil was even more puzzled about how he could be here, but Yoonwon replied calmly, I came to my brother's place. What's so strange about that? Lowering his voice, Yoonjae said to Yoil, he threatened me too. Yoil's heart tightened. Did they have a fight? Why are they staring at each other and not saying a word? And yet, their eyes are full of worry for each other. At that moment, Yoon Hayak came downstairs. Yoil, you're here. Yoil immediately straightened up and hurriedly replied, hello, boss. Yoon Hayak invited him to have dinner together. Just as Yoil was about to say it wasn't necessary, Yoonwon spoke first. He knew you were coming. The dinner was prepared especially for you. Eat first, then work. So the few of them went to eat together. When they reached the dining table, Yoonwon said directly to Yoon Hayak, Yoil can't eat garlic shrimp. Don't put that dish in front of him. Yoon Hayak froze for a moment and immediately moved to rearrange the plates. Yoil felt even more awkward and hurriedly said, no need, really, it's fine. While they were eating, Yoon Hayak asked Yoil, I heard you're going to the studio today. You've never been involved in a shoot before, right? Yoon Hayak added that up. Until now, he had always been the one trying on the clothes himself, but a few days ago he got fired. All Yoil could do was give an awkward laugh as he listened. At this moment, Yoonwon asked Yoon Hayak, where are you two going? Yoon Hayak asked him back, you don't know? Yoil is the fitting model for Yoonjae's online shop. Yoonwon's face instantly darkened, and he put down his chopsticks. I'm asking why you're making him work. He's in his 3rd year of high school now. Beside them, Yoil immediately cut in. This was my own decision. I want to give it a try too. I've got to do something anyway. Yoonwon picked up a piece of steak and directly put it into Yoil's bowl. Then he asked him where exactly he had been sleeping these past few days. Yoil raised his hand and forked that piece of steak back to Yoonwon. He said he didn't want to talk about it. Seeing the look on Yoonwon's face, his temper was about to flare up again. Seeing that Yoonwon was about to lose his temper again, Yoon Hayak immediately called out to him. Then Yoonwon paused for a moment, like he was holding himself back. He told Yoil not to go out anymore and just shoot at home. The house was big enough. Yoil shot back, asking what right he had to make decisions for him. Watching them like this, Yoon-jae felt uncomfortable just sitting there. At this, Yoon-won swept a glance over. "Did you hear that, Gu Yoon-jae?" Yoon-jae, who had just been eating, was scared on the spot and hurriedly said, "Then let's do as he says. It's summer clothing anyway, we can shoot by the pool." Yoel changed his clothes and followed Yoon-jae to the poolside. Yoon-jae held the camera, shooting while correcting his poses. Both the plush toy and the clothes had to be clearly captured, and his movements needed to look more natural. Beside him, Yoon-won stared at those clothes, and the more he looked, the more displeased he felt. That brat actually put Yoel in these shabby clothes. He finished one round of shooting. Yoon-jae felt that no matter what pose Yoel struck, he looked stiff, so he said they would stop here for this outfit. He told Yoel to change into swimwear and sit on a swim ring for the photos, and even asked if he could float in the water. Yoel said he would try his best. After getting changed, Yoel stared at the swim ring in the pool. He asked Yoon-jae if he just needed to sit on it, and Yoon-jae said yes. Yoel couldn't help thinking the swim ring was so cute, like a piece of bread. As soon as he said that, he stepped right onto it, and Yoon-jae panicked at a glance, immediately warning him he couldn't get on like that. Before he could finish speaking, Yoel's foot slipped. He toppled straight into the pool. Yoon-jae couldn't hold back from calling him really stupid, then immediately asked if he was okay. Suddenly, a dark figure swept by at the side. It was Yoon-won diving into the water, grabbing the fallen Yoel up right away. His brows furrowed as he asked, "How can you be so careless?" He then turned his head and glared at Yoon-jae. "He can't swim, and you still let him get in the water?" Yoel coughed while hastily saying he was fine. Yoon-jae felt even more speechless inside. The water is only 1.20 meters deep. This is way too over the top. Then he told Yoel that they were done for today and to get lost, no, to hurry home. As soon as the words fell, he turned and left, getting angrier with each step. Are they really fighting? Even while fighting, they flaunt it everywhere. Seeing that Yoon-jae seemed truly angry, Yoel's heart instantly sank. "I'm sorry, it's all because of me. You can put me down now." Yoon-won asked him in a low voice. "I already said we would talk properly today. So why did you still have to run away from home?" Yoel looked at him, his voice turning cold. "I have nothing to say to you." At this moment, Yoon-won was the first to lower his head. "I went too far with what I said yesterday. You know that wasn't how I really felt." When Yoel heard this, his throat tightened. "How am I supposed to know what's really going on in your heart, Hyung? I've said everything I needed to say, and you probably have too. I'm leaving." As he said this, he started to get down from Yoon-won's arms. Yoon-won immediately followed, his tone forced down but harsh. "Do you really want me to spell it out? I need you. On the days when you're not by my side, I'm nearly going insane. I'll trust you, so stop making a fuss. Look at me. I've already apologized." As he spoke, he suddenly yanked Yoel closer. But Yoel lifted his eyes and shot back. "What you need is just someone to play games with you, isn't it? Words like these will make me think that you like me too. I still like you. If you don't truly like me, then don't say things like that. Seeing you every day like this, I really can't straighten out my thoughts. Then let's just pretend we don't know each other for now." Seeing Yoel react like this, Yoon-won didn't say anything more. Let Yoel come up first. Yoel finally admitted it, his feelings for Yoon-won. On Yoon-won's birthday, he and Yoon-won made up. That day happened to be the June mock exam. As Yoel worked on the test paper, his mind kept circling around Yoon-won Hyung. We clearly agreed to get along like strangers, but in the end Yoon-won really didn't say a single word to him. Since when did Yoon-won start listening to him so well? What was even more ridiculous was that Yoel actually started to care this quickly. If they could just sort out their emotions, could they go back to how they were before? But right now, Yoel really had no idea what to do. At lunch, Yeon-woo asked Yoel if he hadn't had much of an appetite lately. "You've been on bad terms with him for more than a month now, right?" Yoel said it wasn't a fight, that he had just eaten some bread and was really full. Then Yeon-woo asked, "Then can you give me what you can't finish? This is my favorite dish." Yoel said of course. But in that instant, Yoel was reminded again of those times eating together with Yoon-won Hyung. No matter what he was doing, he would think of Yoon-won Hyung. When he was doing math problems, Yoel got stuck on a difficult question and just couldn't solve it. The way Yoon-won Hyung used to teach him how to solve problems suddenly broke into his mind. It had only been 3 short months, but they had already accumulated so many memories. What on earth was he supposed to do to erase all of this? Yoel started to think back. Exactly when did he begin to like Yoon-won? Was it after the misunderstanding from their first impression was cleared up? Was it at the moment he realized that Yoon-won was actually very warm and very gentle? Or was it even earlier, back when that Hyung, who had always only known how to joke around, suddenly seemed a little different. No, right? How could I have fallen for him over something so trivial? Then, from what moment on did it really begin? Suddenly, it was as if something clicked for Yaoi. The next second, he hit the stop button. He immediately rushed off the platform and, without thinking of anything else, sprinted wildly forward. So it turns out, when you like someone, there's no way to forcibly hit stop. Even if you pour out everything in your heart, it's still hard to truly let go. Instead, it's like the tide, surging up again and again, only to finally sink back powerlessly into the depths of your heart. In that moment, Yaoi felt a bit of regret. If only he hadn't confessed. If only he had just apologized that day and stayed by Yunwon's side. If, when his brother spoke up back then, he had simply gone along and said yes. Was it because he woke up too late that even the tiniest gap to escape had been completely sealed off? Staggering, Yaoi made his way back to his front door. The entire day, he hadn't been able to focus at all. I keep feeling like my mind is in complete chaos. Just then, the smell of cigarette smoke from Yunwon Hyung suddenly reaches my nose. Yaoi thinks it must be someone smoking the same brand as Yunwon Hyung. If he'd known, he should have thrown away all the cigarettes before leaving. Suddenly, a familiar voice calls out to him from the side. When Yaoi turns his head, he sees Yunwon. Yunwon flicks the ash off his arm and walks toward Yaoi. Yaoi asks him how he knew he would be here. Yunwon slowly closes in. How long are you going to pretend you don't know me? I heard it from Cho Yun-hoo. Nothing happened between you two that day. Not only did you turn down his confession, you even said you like me. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Yaoi stays silent for a moment, then says that if there's nothing else to talk about, he'll get going. But the next second, Yunwon grabs him. It's my birthday today. Sing me a birthday song. Hearing that, Yaoi is completely stunned. Here, seeing how flustered he is, Yunwon can't help it and bursts out laughing. Realizing that Yunwon is laughing at him, Yoel's face instantly turns red. Yoel says he lives in Agashawan and tells Yunwon to go wait for him in room 202. With that, he takes off running. Yunwon wonders if he should pull him back, but in the end, he holds himself back. If he waits a bit longer, Yoel should come back, right? After a while, he really did wait until Yoel came back. Yoel was holding a cake in his hand. Yunwon asked if he had gone out to buy it. While Yoel was sticking in the candles, he said yes. Luckily, the shop hadn't closed yet. Once the candles were in place, Yunwon took out a lighter and lit them one by one. Then he just stared fixedly at Yoel like that. Now Yoel had no way to dodge it and had no choice but to sing him the birthday song. While Yoel was singing the birthday song, Yunwon kept staring at Yoel from beginning to end. When Yoel finished singing, Yunwon blew out all the candles in one breath. Looking at Yoel with a satisfied expression, he said in a low voice, "Thank you, I really missed you. If it weren't my birthday, I feel like you wouldn't have come to see me at all, so I've been waiting for today." But at the crucial moment, Yunwon once again failed to make himself clear. As a result, Yoel started avoiding him again. When Yunwon asked Yoel whether he had missed him, Yoel didn't hide it and said directly, "I did. I even thought about throwing everything away and just being with you. But if I did that, my expectations of you would only grow more and more. So in order to calm myself down, I pretended not to know you. But my head is filled with you, so much that I can't even breathe. I don't know how long it will take before I can face you as if nothing has happened." At that moment, Yunwon cut him off. "Don't make things so complicated. Can't you just stay by my side? From now on, I'll treat you even better. Double that kind of better." Yoel listened and asked in return, "Then what are you going to do? Not date, only play games. Not friends, but not lovers either. Not even gaming partners in a squad, just keep this kind of ambiguity going?" Yunwon was getting a headache from what he said. "Why do you keep bringing this up? Is there only the game between us? All the things we've done together during this time. So, what kind of relationship do you actually want to have with me? I've already confessed to you and told you everything in my heart, but I still don't know what it is you really want. Hyung, didn't I say it already? It's not that I need to play games, I need you. When you're not by my side, I start thinking about you. Sometimes I even get jealous of everything around you. I really can't control my emotions. If you weren't important to me, no matter how much you insisted, I would still drag you back home. But I just can't treat you like that." Yoel was stunned. "Why? Is it because I hate that kind of behavior? I understand that feeling. Because I don't want you to hate me, I will never do anything you don't like. Not even once. This is my way. But Hyung, why are you like this? When I ask you for a reason, you always say things that make people misunderstand. Do you like me?" In the next second, Yunwon suddenly moved in close. Yoel immediately pushed him away. "Don't think you can gloss over this. Make it clear." Under Yoel's pressing, Yunwon licked the tip of his tongue that had been bitten and was bleeding during the struggle just now, and said in a low voice, "Yeah." Then he added, If I absolutely had to choose between liking and hating, of course I lean more toward liking. Yoael stared at him. It's not that simple. I'm not asking you to choose between like and dislike. Yoonwon shot back. Then if I say, I love you, would you believe me? How are you going to judge whether I really mean what I say or not? Why do you have to cling to that one sentence? When I can believe you 100%, I'll say what you want to hear. So for now, can you listen to me just this once? I don't want to fight with you anymore, and I don't want to lose you again. Hearing that, Yoael froze completely. After quite a while, he finally spoke. Hyung, let's just be friends. When we meet, we just say hi to each other. A normal relationship, so I won't feel exhausted from wanting to see you. As friends, we won't cross any lines. We should have done this a long time ago. I won't be confused anymore either. As he said this, Yoael put the cake back in its box. Even when Yoonwon called his name from behind, Yoael didn't answer a single word. Happy birthday. I didn't have time to prepare a present. Take this cake home and eat it. I'll walk you to the door. At that moment, Yoonwon suddenly yanked hard on the hem of Yoael's shirt. I'm not finished talking. Yoael only said that it was getting late. I'm a bit tired and want to sleep. After a while, Yoonwon slowly let go of his hand. Don't come out. Stay home and get a good night's sleep. See you at school tomorrow. With that, Yoonwon walked out carrying the cake. Then he went over to the building manager. Watching Yoonwon's back, the manager felt even more puzzled. Why rent 2 rooms? Walk into the next room. Yoonwon remembered the question Yoael had just asked. Do you like me? And was still burning inside. Nonsense. Jeong Jae finally met Yoonwon officially, but he kept stepping back and forth on Yoonwon's minefield. After that, they went to school. Yoael looked at Yoonwon over there, acting like nothing had happened, still chatting and laughing with others. But on Yoael's side, his thoughts were still a mess. During this period, they really had been getting along just like ordinary friends. Because summer vacation was coming, that day the teacher stood on the podium and reminded everyone, this summer vacation is very important. Don't waste it. Then the teacher told those applying for self-study to stay behind. While packing his bag, Yoael thought, I won't be able to see Yoonwon Hyung for a whole month. What a shame. Before leaving, I should at least go say goodbye to Yoonwon. He walked over, just in time to see a classmate invite Yoonwon to eat together. But Yoonwon politely refused. Yoonwon also noticed Yoael behind him. Before he had a chance to speak, Yoonwon stepped up to him first. Have a great summer vacation. As soon as the words fell, he turned around and left, leaving Yoael standing there in a daze. Yoael was about to head back too, but in fact Yoonwon had only slipped outside to hide. He was still clutching the phone Yoael had left behind in his hand. When Yoael walked out, Yoonwon quietly followed from behind. He stared at the message on Yoael's phone, a text from an unknown number asking to meet Yoael at the school gate. Yoonwon was even more puzzled. Does Yoael have friends I don't know about? Over at the school gate, Yoael walked out weighed down with worries. He just felt that he'd been in very poor health lately. Strange, what was going on? If he got sick, what would he do about the money? He was spacing out as he walked, when suddenly someone yanked his backpack hard from behind. Yoael whipped his head around in an instant. What are you doing? The next second, Gang Seo-jae let go with a grin. Oops, I used too much strength. Right then, someone else rushed over from the side and grabbed Gang Seo-jae's hand in a vice-like grip. Who are you? When Yoael saw it was Yoonwon coming over, he froze for a moment. Yoonwon first asked Yoael if he knew this person, then immediately turned his head and pressed him. What gives you the right to grab his hand? Yoael hurried to explain to Yoonwon. Hyung, he's my friend. I've known him since we were little. He heard I was on break and came to hang out. Let's go, Seo-jae. Gang Seo-jae was still a bit dazed, but he still slung an arm over Yoael's shoulder. Fine. Since you and he are so close, I'll let it slide. But you don't look happy at all. Are you two really that close? Standing to the side, Yoonwon asked Yoael again. His name is Seo-jae, family name Gang? At this moment, that night flashed through his mind again. The name Yoael had cried out in his dream was this very name, Gang Seo-jae. That blonde guy who got beaten up that day had said that Gang Seo-jae and Yoael grew up together from childhood. The kind of friends who played together all the way. When Yoael was bullied, Seo-jae had helped him out quite a lot. Hearing Yoonwon call out his own name, Gang Seo-jae was instead taken aback. Clearly this was an all-boys high school, and he hadn't even covered his face, but he still hadn't expected to be recognized. He then gave a lazy, roguish grin and fixed his eyes on Yoonwon. Looks like I'm getting more and more famous. Huh, but the show I'm on hasn't even aired yet, so just pretend you don't know me. I'm going to get burgers with him. Are you coming or not? When they arrived at the restaurant, Gang Seo-jae tilted his head and looked at Yoonwon and Yoael beside him. The more he looked, the stranger it seemed. The vibe between these two was nothing like ordinary friends. Two grown men. Why are they touching each other's faces? Yoel sat there silently again, even more suspicious. He was so nervous, too, constantly sneaking glances at that guy's expression. Could they be 909? If they really were, then he'd be holding some serious leverage. So he would confirm it right now. He stepped forward and reached out to pinch Yoel's cheek. Eat slower, your cheeks are about to burst. The next second, Yoel slapped his hand away. You scared me, don't touch me. Gang Seoj lifted the corners of his lips in a smug smile. He deliberately leaned closer to Yoel again, lowering his voice. What? How come you didn't say anything when that Hyung touched you? After saying that, he even looked provocatively at Yoon-won across from them. His personality is a little sensitive because he's too naive, too kind. I even specially taught him how to curse people. Yet he actually treats me like this. I'm really heartbroken. When you hang out with him, don't you feel pretty relaxed? You two are so close, you must know him very well. That angry face of Yoon-won's was practically written right in front of his eyes. Gang Seoj felt a surge of triumph in his heart and almost burst out laughing. At that moment, Yoel beside him suddenly coughed, as if something had choked him. Yoon-won immediately switched to a worried expression, his gaze chasing after him at once. But Gang Seoj moved a step faster, stepping up to put an arm around Yoel and asking in a low voice, "What's wrong? Did you eat too fast again and it got stuck? How many times have I told you to get rid of that bad habit of eating too fast? Don't make yourself look so shabby. It's really embarrassing." Yoon-won finally couldn't hold back anymore and spoke with a cold face. "You haven't stopped spouting nonsense since just now. Even if you're close, there's got to be a line." Gang Seoj let out a derisive laugh. "A line? There's no such thing between us. He and I grew up together, close like family. That's why my words are a bit sharp. But you've only known him for a few months, right? Aren't you just classmates? What gives you the right to lecture his family? If you act like this, people will get the wrong idea." In that moment, Yoon-won clenched his fists so tightly his nails were about to gouge blood from his palms. Gang Seoj really hadn't come to sincerely apologize to Yoel. After his true intention was exposed by Yoel, he simply flew into a shame-fueled rage. When Yoel went to the restroom, Gang Seoj leaned over to Yoon-won and asked, "Did you bully Yoel? He looks really scared of you. You must scold him a lot. I didn't have the sense to see it and even invited you along." At that moment, Yoel came back, his stomach still twisted with discomfort. He just wanted to kick the guy out before Gang Seoj could keep spouting nonsense. He walked to the seat, suppressing his discomfort, and said to Yoon-won, "I'm not feeling very well, so I'll head back first. Enjoy your vacation." As he left, he dragged Gang Seoj off with him as well. Yoon-won remained seated, watching their backs as they walked away. A wave of sourness rose in his chest, an indescribable ache. Once they were outside, Gang Seoj asked in a show of casualness, "Yoel, did you change your phone? Let me see, and save my number while you're at it." In that moment, Yoel no longer wanted to play along with him and replied coldly, "That's enough, cut it out." Gang Seoj immediately put on an innocent act. "What did I do? And you're telling me to cut it out?" Lowering his voice again to probe, Gang Seoj said, "You're not still hung up on that guy from before, are you? It's written all over your face. That's exactly why people keep picking on you. There's definitely something going on between you two. I don't have any prejudice. Just tell me the truth." Yoel cut him off directly. "It's not what you think, so stop talking nonsense." Gang Seoj saw that Yoel refused to say a word and didn't chase after him, only throwing out one sentence. "Let's have a meal together next time. You know it too, don't you? It's not hard at all for me to find you." His tone dropped. "From now on, try to contact me online as much as possible. Got it? I won't be free until you're almost taking the college entrance exam." He paused. "First, take me off your block list. Oh right, after the show airs, will you vote for me?" Yoel's face was expressionless. "No, don't talk to me." The next second, however, Gang Seoj laughed even louder, as if things had gone back to how they used to be. "You've said it before that the two of us were the closest. It's still the same now." At this moment, Yoel suddenly called out to Gang Seoj, "I won't make up with you, and I'm not doing this to cooperate with you. At first I almost thought you really came to apologize." He paused. "But you kept bringing up all those things from several years ago, and the more I thought about it, only one reason was left. You're scared, aren't you? You're afraid I'll tell people what you did, aren't you? You want me to keep my mouth shut." Yoel exposed his thoughts on the spot, and Gang Seoj's gaze instantly turned cold, murderous intent flaring. The next second, it was like his whole face changed. "What did I do? Did I ever hit you? You ordering other people to bully me also counts as school violence. Even if no one punishes you, It's enough to shatter your public image. Gang Coj was instantly set off by his words. What kind of fit was he throwing? Seriously. The next second, he suddenly closed in, raised his hand and viciously grabbed Yoel's face. Do you have any proof? How dare you say that? If there really was evidence, what would he do? Gang Coj was so furious he completely lost it. What? Do you still have bruises from back then on your body? The way you talk is really infuriating. Yoel forcefully shook off his hand. Believe it or not, that's up to you. And don't blame me in the future, you'll have brought it all on yourself. If you dare come to me again next time. At that moment, Gang Coj raised his hand, ready to strike down. Frightened, Yoel instinctively shut his eyes, but that didn't make Gang Coj stop at all. Instead, he kept slapping Yoel on the head. Then he grabbed a fistful of Yoel's hair and yanked upward. You still dare threaten me? Think you've grown some wings? Acting like this will make me change my mind. Next time, it has to be just the two of us meeting alone. After a while, Gang Coj finally let go of the hand that was yanking Yoel's hair. Even after he walked far away, Yoel was still standing in the same spot. He touched the place that had been grabbed, and tears of grief suddenly spilled down. He sat there alone, unable to stop crying. Meanwhile, on the other side, Yoon-won returned home, completely deflated. In his head, Gang Coj's words from the day kept replaying. You've only known him for a few months? Isn't he just your classmate? What right do you have to scold his family? What right do you have to lecture his family? The more Yoon-won thought about it, the angrier he got. Family? Is she bragging about how close they are or what? Seriously, if you're not in a relationship, you don't deserve to be upset. I haven't dated even once up till now, so what on earth am I supposed to do? He suddenly thought of that friend who had just broken up and immediately picked up his phone and dialed. As soon as the call connected, Yoon-won got straight to the point. Are you seeing anyone recently? At first the friend didn't realize who it was, but soon recognized Yoon-won's voice. Yoon-won repeated the question again. The friend shot back, are you drunk? Yoon-won got even more irritated. No, didn't you say you broke up last time? Did you get a new girlfriend after that? Just answer me first. The friend said they had gotten back together, and Yoon-won froze on the spot. What? You were literally crying when you said you'd broken up. The friend said couples are supposed to bicker. We've broken up and made up 3 times and still ended up back together. We even went to ask a spiritual master this week, and the master said even if we broke up 100 times, we're destined to reconcile. That's fate. So I decided to stop being so tense, and after that our relationship just kept getting better. But why are you asking all this? If you're really drunk, just go to sleep like a good boy. Before he could finish, Yoon-won hung up the phone on the spot. Fate, give me a break. This guy actually believes in that kind of scammy nonsense. I never should have made this call. After a brief silence, Yoon-won started trying to recall Yoel's date of birth. What day was it exactly? He didn't have Yoel's ID card on him, and immediately thought of his student ID. His steps felt floaty, and he staggered into the room. His gaze fell on the student ID, on that line with the date of birth. Even Yoon-won himself couldn't tell what exactly he was doing right now, if this really was fate. He suddenly realized Yoel was the boy who had given him the shiju cake back then. Right then and there, Yoon-won bolted out as if he'd lost control, frantically wanting to find him. He lowered his head and stared fixedly at Yoel's student ID in his hand. Yoon-won remembered the scene from earlier that day again. Now that he's with me, is he already feeling so miserable he wants to throw up? Has he started to hate me? You clearly said you liked me. You're not allowed to change your mind. Right after that, scenes from childhood surged into Yoon-won's mind once more. I started to fear love, afraid I would mess everything up again. Back then, Mom got injured while saving me and never again could draw. I went to her to apologize. She forgave me and even said, "It's okay, because Mom loves you." Hearing her say that, I really felt happy in that moment. Sadly, good days never lasted. That day, I saw Mom cut off her own hair with her own hands. She seemed to go crazy and screamed at me to get out. That scene was like a horror movie playing on an endless loop. Mom's personality swung wildly between good and bad. After yelling at me, she would immediately apologize. While apologizing, she would keep saying she loved me. Then she would lose control again and force me not to say I loved her anymore. She said I was the one who made other people become unhappy. I said I didn't deserve happiness. Steeped in deep guilt, I slowly got used to my mother's vicious words. But just then, she left me and departed from this world. My first memory of love was only death. For a long time after that, that terrifying thought kept appearing. But I was afraid to see my mother who hated me again. So I forced myself to endure no matter what. I only dared to form those kinds of shallow relationships where, even if I made a mistake, they wouldn't blame me. Those kinds of shallow relationships where, even if I made a mistake, they wouldn't blame me. In a way, it also satisfied my obsession. I had confirmed it. Love is the most useless thing. So I made up my mind to live my whole life like this. Life would go on just the same. Until I met that boy, we were never meant to meet. What exactly do you call what he did to me? Felt like charity. I was only focused on pretending nothing was wrong. But I never expected that I would be this greedy. I thought I had already been careful enough. It must have been around then, on that snowy day. I should have frozen to death back then. Why did I have to? Yoon-won slowly closed his eyes. The scene was yanked back again to that snowy day. That familiar voice once again rang in his ears. Yoon-won looked up and clearly saw what that person looked like. The next second, he jolted his eyes open. Only then did he realize he had actually fallen asleep just now. He looked at Yoel's student ID and smiled faintly. I keep hoping you'll come, and you just won't. You even snuck into my dream disguised as someone else, showed your face, and then disappeared. Suddenly, it was as if something occurred to Yoon-won. He hurriedly grabbed the student ID card. No, that's impossible. How could the fool who gave me the birthday cake be one Yoel? That boy said that day, because today is my birthday. Even earlier, Yoel had also told him, when it's my birthday, I'll definitely eat a shiju cake. In that instant, Yoon-won understood everything completely. He rushed out immediately, even though it was still pouring with rain outside. What he was thinking was, after I see him, what should I say? Should I ask if he was the one who gave me that cake that day? Should I thank him for saving me? Or should I say, does this count as fate between us? But one Yoel probably doesn't remember anything. If I say all this to him looking like I do now, he'll definitely think I'm crazy. But I can't worry about that anymore. If I can't see him now, I really will go crazy. I ran the whole way through the rain. By the time I got here, Yoon-won was completely sober. Just then, Shiju's meow suddenly came from nearby. Yoon-won walked over and, forcing down his breath, asked it, "What are you doing in someone else's house? Are you hiding from the rain?" Right after that, a woman walked out from inside. "Oh my, you scared me. We just closed up." Yoon-won said he had seen Shiju and had just randomly crawled into someone else's cat house. After hearing that, the woman's face was full of question marks. "What, are you talking about our little one? It's the kitten I keep here at the shop." She called Little Dot over while saying with a smile, "This must be your first time seeing it, right? The cats in our cafe are very famous in the neighborhood. In order to scrounge some food, it often wanders around everywhere." Yoon-won's expression froze on the spot, as if he couldn't believe it. "It's yours? Since when have you been keeping it?" The woman said she'd been raising it since it was very small. "I thought it looked like its mother had abandoned it, so I decided to take it in. It was so tiny back then, so I named it Little Dot." As she spoke, she held out her phone's lock screen for Yoon-won to see. "This is Little Dot, when it was little. Cute, right?" Yoon-won was stunned on the spot. His lips trembled as he muttered in a low voice, "Why, it was clearly mine. Why are you people like this?" Seeing him like that, the woman's heart tightened, and she felt that he was a bit mentally unstable. "I was the one who bought it so many tasty things. I was the one who always spoiled it. I was the one who even gave it a name. It only acknowledged me." The sound of the rain was too loud, and the woman couldn't hear clearly what he was saying. She turned around and shooed Little Dot back to sleep. Yoon-won just stood there, motionless. The light in his eyes gradually went out. Why is it that everything I want, I end up losing in the end? This time, Yoon-won was truly wide awake. He actually confessed to Yoel while shedding tears. After cram school ended, the two of them walked on the way home. At that moment, Yoel received a call from the headmistress. The truth was, today was the headmistress's birthday. Yoel apologized immediately, saying she hadn't even had time to wish her a happy birthday in person. The director smiled and said it was okay. But she suddenly asked, "Last time your friend came to see me, did you get my birthday wrong?" He said not to tell you, but that day his expression was really off, and in the end he hurriedly left. The director asked again, "Has that friend been doing well lately? He even thanked me for raising you, brought gifts, was especially polite. The good friend you mentioned before, that was him, right?" Oil pressed the director. "Did that person have a scar on his face?" The director said she didn't see one, but he had a bandage on, and she reminded him that next time he must come together. "Okay, hurry home and get some good rest." After the call ended, Yoel only felt the world spinning. His legs suddenly went weak, and he could barely stand. Frowning, he thought, "Strange. What's been going on with my body lately? Is it because I haven't been sleeping well?" The next second, his vision went black and he collapsed straight to the floor. Very soon, an ambulance arrived downstairs. Passers-by all gathered around, and some even thought there was a fire. On the road, Yoon-won passed by the building where Yoil lived and found the entrance packed with people. His heart tightened, and he immediately rushed over to ask what was going on. Hearing someone say that a resident in the exam dorm had just tried to take their own life, someone else added, "Recently another student moved into that room." Right after that he heard, "And today a high schooler suddenly fainted." The more Yoon-won listened, the more panicked he became. He immediately forced his way into the crowd. "Move! Let me check." The next second, he saw the medical staff carrying a stretcher out. He saw clearly that the person lying on the stretcher was Yoil. Yoon-won's whole body instantly froze. The next second, he lunged forward like he'd lost control, shouting his name. The medical staff immediately blocked him. "You can't get close. Please step back." Seeing Yoil like that, Yoon-won was trembling all over, unable to believe it. He hurried to explain that he was Yoil's guardian. Only then did the medical staff agree to let him get in the ambulance together. But Yoon-won was far too emotional, and once in the ambulance his condition only got worse. A paramedic asked him, "Are you having trouble breathing right now?" Noticing how tense his whole body was, they concluded it was hyperventilation. They immediately had him breathe into a paper bag. All the way there, Yoon-won just kept gripping Yoil's hand in a death grip. The scene cuts to the emergency center at the hospital. Yoon-won is unconscious, lying on a hospital bed. Yoil is sitting beside him, keeping watch over him the whole time. At this moment, Yoon-won slowly opens his eyes. When he sees clearly that it's Yoil, he bolts upright. Yoil immediately steadies him and anxiously asks if he's okay. Yoon-won's emotions explode all at once, and he throws himself at Yoil, hugging him tightly. He asks over and over, "Are you okay? How are you now? Are you hurt anywhere? Did you faint? Why did you faint?" Yoil says he only passed out because he was too exhausted, and luckily he fell onto his backpack, so he wasn't injured. He's getting some sleep while on an 4 drip, and he's much better now. "More than any of that, what I really want to know is how you ended up here, Hyung." Yoon-won's eyes immediately fill with tears. "I thought something had happened to you. Do you know how worried I was?" Yoil looked at him, clearly stunned. "Hyung, are you crying?" As he spoke, he raised a hand to wipe away Yoon-won's tears. Only then did Yoon-won lower his voice and tell him, Yoil, I'm begging you. Don't leave me. Hurry up and fall for me again too. Stop treating me like a friend. As long as you're willing, I can date you as well." He was completely panicked and had no idea what to do. He asked Yoon-won what was going on and told him to calm down first. But Yoon-won looked utterly serious. "I won't push you anymore. Please, look at me." Yoil raised his hand and tapped him on the head, remembering how the doctor had just said he'd had symptoms of hyperventilation. Could he really have hurt his brain? "There's no way Hyung would be crying while confessing to me. Impossible, absolutely impossible. It's 100% that something's wrong with his brain." The very next second, Yoon-won stared at him and asked, "Are you thinking there's something wrong with my head right now?" Yoil was startled and hurriedly said no. Yoon-won stressed it again. "I'm very clear-headed. I'm really fine." That was what he said. But Yoil still felt that something was off about Yoon-won's state. So he first brought Yoon-won back to the place where he lived himself, though he had no idea if that was the right thing to do. But now Yoon-won just kept clinging to him and wouldn't let go. After a while, Yoil asked Yoon-won, "How about you go wash up? Why were you out in the rain? You'll catch a cold." Yoon-won said he hadn't brought any other clothes, so he'd just stay like this for a bit. "But I still need to take a shower." At this moment, he suddenly remembered, "I regretted not preparing a birthday present for you last time, so I bought you some clothes, and it just so happens you can wear them now." As he spoke, he opened the wardrobe and started rummaging through it. Then he took the clothes out and handed them to Yoon-won. "I know you have this piece, but I remember you said the clothes had gotten smaller and you couldn't fit into them. I kept that in mind all this time. It wasn't expensive. If you don't like it, just wear it once and throw it away." Yoon-won took the clothes, so happy he could barely contain it. "I love it so much. I'm going to wear this for the rest of my life." Yoil just felt he was being way too dramatic. But at least now there were clothes he could change into. Suddenly, Yoon-won rushed forward and grabbed Yoil in a hug again, his voice trembling. "Really? Thank you. This isn't a dream, right? Pinch me." Yoil looked at him, raised his hand and pinched his cheek, always feeling like Yoon-won had turned into a different person. He forced his emotions down, thinking he would wait until Yoon-won calmed down to talk, and first asked, "Are you feeling unwell anywhere?" This time Gang Seo-jae had really gone mad. He not only kidnapped Yoil, he even laid hands on him. After showering, Yoon-won put that jacket on directly. Yoil asked if he wasn't going to wear something underneath. Yoon-won said, "Your clothes are too small," then frowned and shot back. "Why are you staring at me like some kind of pervert?" Yoil immediately turned his head in a panic. "I wasn't looking." Yoon-won fixed his eyes on his reaction and lowered his voice. Do you have something you want to say? Yoel first asked him if he was feeling any better. Yoon-won leaned against his shoulder, rubbing against him clingily, and said in a low voice, "Much better." Right after that, Yoel asked again, "Can you explain what you just said? Do you want me to explain what the words, 'I like you' mean?" Yoel looked at him and nodded. "Yes, I don't really understand. I want to hear you make it a bit clearer. Didn't you say before that you don't like being in relationships?" This time Yoon-won didn't dodge it and admitted directly, "Because I'm scared. Liking someone is something you can't see or touch, so it makes people feel uneasy. It's like sand. Even if you grip it tightly in your hand, it still slips out bit by bit through your fingers. Even if you spend a long time building a castle out of sand, a single wave could come and leave nothing behind. I'm afraid that in the end it'll turn out like that, so I pretended I couldn't see your feelings. Because I'm afraid of losing you, and even more afraid that you'll abandon me. But this kind of relationship that can't be put into words and isn't certain hurts me even more. Rather than living like a walking corpse after we break up, it'd be better to just build a wall that will never collapse. That way, no matter how much people outside try to stop us, no matter how they interfere, our relationship won't be shaken." So what I mean is, halfway through his sentence, Yoon-won suddenly started coughing, and Yoel immediately leaned in close and quietly asked if he was okay. After Yoon-won caught his breath, he added another line. "I know that I just have to say something like, 'I like you, go out with me,' but I don't really trust those kinds of words, so I don't know how to confess to you. I really like you, but I'm also afraid that one day we'll break up. Afraid that if I do something wrong, you'll leave me." "Wait, so you're serious right now? You really want to date me?" "To be honest, this is so sudden. So sudden that I'm starting to wonder if you hit your head or something." "Why? Exactly. How did you suddenly start liking me?" "I know, from the very beginning you must have felt it was very sudden. I wasn't able to express myself properly before, because I didn't understand these things. You taught me and I just followed your lead. I learned very fast. It'll definitely be different from when we were just friends. This time I'll love you properly. You'll accept me, right?" Yoel's eyes suddenly reddened. "Bro, what are you even struggling with? It's clearly you who kept pushing me away. Pushing me until I finally gave up completely. And now you suddenly confess. What do you want me to do? Honestly, liking you is just too exhausting. But not liking you is even harder than continuing to like you, so I can't let go." Yoon-won was delighted to hear this. He walked straight up and gently kissed Yoel. That evening, Yoon-won sent Yoel message after message, but Yoel never replied. On the other side, Yoel drifted in and out of consciousness, only feeling a terrible headache. Then he slowly opened his eyes. He was actually asleep, and he also felt that something was wrong. He sat up and glanced around the area, his heart tightening. "Where is this?" At that moment, a voice came from beside him. "Awake? You woke up right on time for a meal. Come eat. I ordered jjajangmyeon and fried rice. Which one do you want?" Yoel looked up and saw that it was Gang Seoj. In Yoel's head, the scene from right before he lost consciousness flashed back in an instant. The next second, he suddenly grabbed the pillow and hurled it hard at Gang Seoj. "Are you crazy? You're the one who brought me here? What on earth are you trying to do?" Gang Seoj raised Yoel's phone and shook it. "Who told you to block me? I just wanted to talk to you. Do you know how hard it was for me to track you down?" Yoel immediately rushed over to snatch it. "What are you doing with my phone?" Then Gang Seoj pulled out a letter. "You were still hiding this in your pocket. A love letter?" On it was written, "Yoon-won Hyung, I love you." Two grown men writing something like this. Does that sound normal? Shaking with rage, Yoel lifted his hand and punched him. "Don't you dare call his name so casually. You disgusting guy. I don't have time to waste on you. Give me back my phone." Being called disgusting right to his face made Gang Seoj's temper flare up in an instant. Yoel didn't want to waste any more words on him and just coldly pressed him to hand over the phone. Seeing that he absolutely refused to give it back, Yoel simply turned around, ready to go file a report. He would report the fact that he had kidnapped him as well. He threw one last line over his shoulder. "If you don't want to go to the police station, then agree to one condition. Promise you'll never come looking for me again, and this time you have to write it down clearly in black and white." Suddenly, Gang Seoj behind him quickly closed in. He yanked Yoel in one swift motion. Then he directly dragged him away. He started mocking him coldly and harshly. "Are you resisting so much because you can't make money from just having a meal with a friend? Is it really that hard? I've already been very polite trying to resolve this properly. But you spend all day playing games with other people. You've probably forgotten who you are, haven't you?" As he spoke, Gang Seoj grabbed the nearby food, brutally stuffed it into Yoel's mouth, and forced him to swallow. The next second, Yoel threw up on the spot. The half-chewed rice sprayed right onto Gang Seoj's face. Gang Seoj still didn't stop. He raised his hand and slapped Yoel hard across the face. "You think I don't dare hit you?" He then slammed his fist onto the table next to them with a bang, and the sense of intimidation instantly maxed out. "While I'm still willing to talk this out, you'd better listen carefully. Stop treating other people like they're not even human." After saying that, he walked over, pulled out some tissues, and wiped his face, one stroke at a time. Yoel told him coolly, "This already counts as a crime." He even ordered Yoel to hand over his phone and made him call on the spot. In the next second, however, Yoel suddenly started sneezing repeatedly. Clutching his throat, Yoel said in a low voice that something's wrong with my voice. But Gang Seoj frowned and told him to stop pretending. Yet Yoel clawed at his skin like he was out of control, completely panicking. What's happening? Because there had been shrimp in that meal just now. This didn't look like acting at all. So Gang Seoj stared at him and asked, "You're allergic to shrimp? Why didn't you say so earlier? You can't even smell it?" Yoel couldn't hold on anymore and bent over, vomiting nonstop. Only one thought remained in his mind: I have to leave immediately. As for why Gang Seoj had come looking for him again, he couldn't figure it out either. But today was definitely different, because Gang Seoj had even laid hands on him for the first time. He had no chance of winning in a head-on clash, so he could only rush out first and look for help. Pressing down his breathing, Yoel quickly scanned his surroundings. He planned to grab his bag first, but in the next second, Gang Seoj kicked at him, and Yoel was sent half-knelt to the ground by the blow. Gang Seoj's tone was completely merciless. "What on earth is wrong with you? How can you be so clueless?" With that, he grabbed a fistful of Yoel's hair. Then he gave a vicious yank and flung him away. Yoel's eyes grew hot and his voice trembled. "Why on earth are you treating me like this? It's not like I did anything wrong." Gang Seoj only felt more irritated, and even he couldn't explain why. Why was it that Yoel just pissed him off so much? And on top of that, Yoel even threw harsh words at him. Gang Seoj instead laughed. "That's more like you. Let's not bring that up again. It's been so many years." Just then, the phone in Yoel's pocket rang again. This time, Gang Seoj picked it up directly and hit the answer button. On the other end, Yoon-won heard Yoel's voice. He immediately asked, "Where are you?" But very quickly, there was only silence left on the line. The next second, Gang Seoj's voice came through. "You remember me, right? One Yoel won't be able to make it today. He's at the motel right now with me, so that Yoel wouldn't pack his things and run away from me like last time." This time, Yoon-won simply threw away his phone and his shoes. The two of them played video games straight through until 6 in the morning the next day. Yoel said he still had to go to cram school today, and Yoon-won immediately pretended to feel really sick. The moment Yoel saw him, he panicked. Was it because of that fall just now? Was he dizzy? Should they call 119? Yoon-won said there was no need. It was probably just a cold. Yoel reached out and touched his face. He really did have a fever. There's no medicine here, so Yoel gets ready to go out and buy some for him. Yoon-won asks, "We're in the middle of a game, and you're going out now?" Yoel says, "I don't play games with sick people. You're gonna lie down in bed like a good boy right now." As he speaks, he pulls Yoon-won up. Yoon-won asks again, "Do you really have to go to cram school today? A patient needs someone to look after him." Yoel says, "Missing one day of class is fine." After using a lot of strength, he finally helps Yoon-won lie down properly on the bed. Seeing that he's about to start running his mouth again, Yoel simply tells him to shut up quickly. "I'll be back soon. You stay put and behave." Before leaving, Yoel even turns off the light for him, letting him get some sleep first. As soon as Yoel leaves, Yoon-won immediately sits up, so naive to this extent. Then he sees Yoel's phone lying on the desk. This scene is exactly the same as that day, but what's different today is he's only going out for a bit. He said he'd be right back. Yoon-won stares at Yoel's shoes by the door. Even though nothing will happen today, what if next time Yoel leaves Yoon-won behind again? If Yoel gets tired of him, will he pack up and walk out again? No, he absolutely can't let something like that happen. As expected, it's best to destroy everything. Anyway, now Yoon-won has already made things clear with Yoel. Next, Yoon-won goes to look for the dorm manager. The manager asks him, "Are you staying here overnight today?" Yoon-won said, "Yes, and today should be the last day as well." The manager was taken aback. "Are you checking out?" Yoon-won nodded. "Yes." Yoon-won spoke again. "May I ask you a favor? Could you help me throw these away?" As he said that, he took out Yoel's shoes and phone. The manager stared at the phone, even more confused. "Isn't this perfectly fine? Why throw it away?" Yoon-won smiled faintly. "If I throw it away with my own hands, then it really will become, I'm the one who threw it away, right?" He was afraid Yoel would run away. Although the manager didn't really understand, his intuition told him this wasn't a bad thing. The manager still agreed. Yoon-won added, Of course it's not a bad thing. I'll transfer you a separate fee for the trouble. Thank you. Then he immediately rushed back to the room. He went back to wait for Yaoi to return after buying the medicine. As soon as he walked in, he noticed the room had suddenly become very clean. Even the bedsheets had been changed to new ones. Strange. Did Hyung change them? Yoonwon didn't respond, so Yaoi thought he was asleep. He raised his hand and touched Yoonwon's forehead to check if the fever had gone down, thinking to himself that he still had to feed him the medicine. Take the medicine and then sleep. That way you'll get better faster. He twisted open the cap, getting ready to help Yoonwon drink it. But Yoonwon was sleeping too deeply. After thinking it over, Yoel decided not to wake him up. Let him drink it after he wakes up. Suddenly, he heard Yoonwon cough over there, and Yoel immediately tensed up. Are you okay? Hearing Yoonwon mention medicine, Yoel instinctively thought he was asking to take his medicine. Yoel hurriedly said, if you drink some water, you'll be able to swallow it. It'll be quick. As he spoke, he tried to give him water. I'll pour you just a little. In the next second, however, Yoonwon spat the water straight back out. Yoel froze, not knowing what to do, and could only say anxiously, you have to swallow it. Lowering his voice, Yoel coaxed him. I know it's hard to swallow while lying down. I'll gently cover your mouth and feed you the medicine right away. But as soon as the medicine went into his mouth, Yoonwon spat it out again. Right after that, Yoonwon grabbed Yoel and yanked him over with a sudden pull. Very close to him, Yoonwon said quietly, if you feed me with a kiss, then I can swallow it. Only then did Yoel realize he hadn't been asleep at all. Yoonwon was still trying to argue. I just woke up, but Yoel didn't believe a single word. Yet Yoonwon thanked him earnestly. Thank you. This is the first time someone has taken care of me when I'm sick. Only now do I really feel that you've come back to my side. But then Yoonwon added, but Yoel, this way you'll catch my cold. What if you get sick because of me? Even so that I can keep sticking to Yoel all the time after we go to college. Yoonwon decided, I'm going to study fine arts too. Seeing Yoel rummaging around the whole time, Yoonwon asked, did you lose something? Yoel said, my shoes and my phone. I left them next to your shoes. Didn't you see them? Yoonwon looked calm. It was probably taken away by the cleaning company. Sorry, I told them to clear out everything in the room. Then I fell asleep and didn't notice. Yoel's heart sank. It should still be with them. Help me give them a call, will you? But that just makes it stranger. Why were his shoes left behind? At that moment, Yoonwon grabbed his hand. Yoel, none of that is the main issue right now. Don't you want to hurry back to our home? The phone and shoes you left behind are still there exactly as they were. Don't waste time on meaningless things. After that, the two of them went back together. As soon as he stepped through the door, Yoel broke into a happy smile, like he had really come home. Yoonwon raised his hand and ruffled his hair. This was your home to begin with. Yoel sat down, looking completely content. The sofa is just the same as before. Yoonwon asked how he felt. Nothing's changed, right? Yoel walked up and pulled him into his arms. Yeah, it's still this neat and orderly, really just like you, Hyung. Yoonwon buried his head against his chest. Yeah, if the house were a total mess, something serious might have happened, and then you'd probably start disliking me. Listening to him, Yoel kept feeling there was something more behind his words, so he asked, why do you always say things like that? You asked me before, too. If you got hurt because of me, would you still like me? Yoel looked at him. Do you still not believe me? Yoonwon said, I do, but you still haven't seen all of me. Maybe some parts will disappoint you. Yoel reached out and turned his face toward him. That will absolutely never happen. No matter what you do, I like it. I'm already completely carried away by love. Yoonwon pressed him. Really? Can I trust you? Yoel answered. Of course. Yoonwon finally smiled. Even if I weren't carried away, I would still like you. As he spoke, he stepped forward and gave Yoel a quick kiss. I'll ask you every day. You have to keep saying that you like me. Yoel promised him. I will. I'll tell you every day. So stop feeling uneasy. Suddenly, Yoel caught sight of the time beside them. He suddenly remembered. He still hadn't asked his cram school teacher for leave. He asked Yoonwon where his own phone was. All of today's classes are over. What should I do? But Yoonwon wasn't nervous at all, saying it wouldn't matter if he missed one class. Even so, he still handed the phone to Yoel. Yoel immediately dialed the cram school teacher's number. Yoel felt a bit guilty. I lied and said I was sick. Yoonwon immediately steadied his emotions. You are sick. Did you forget you just fainted? Just get a good rest today. What time do you go to the cram school tomorrow? We haven't gone out to have fun in ages. When he heard Yoel say the cram school ran from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Yoonwon frowned. That's way too late. He had originally wanted to have Yoil go to the study room after class. At that, Yoon-won was even more annoyed. "You're being too cruel to me. I finally managed to bring you home. And now we still have to be apart for a whole day." Yoil told him that he had to work hard. There were only 4 months left until the college entrance exam, and once he got into university, there would be plenty of time to have fun. In that moment, Yoon-won really wanted to lock Yoil up. He pressed on, asking, "After you get into university, what do you want to do? There must be a reason you're working this hard. If you go on blind dates or something, I won't let you off." Yoil said he had never thought about what he wanted to do. He just wanted to go to the same university as his Hyung. "With Hyung's grades, you can definitely get into Korea University. But I started preparing for the art exam too late. I'm not confident. If I want to stay with you, I have to work harder." Yoon-won was a little surprised. "Just for this? You want to stay with me?" Yoil looked at him. "Of course. I also think about you from morning till night. But if they got into different schools, they wouldn't be able to see each other." In the next second, Yoon-won pulled him into a hug. "You're really discouraging." Yoil lifted his eyes and replied, "Examinees are not allowed to lose heart. You have to perk up and study properly." Yoon-won said he had a crazy idea, and Yoil looked at the expression on his face. Even though he didn't know what it was, he first told Yoon-won not to let his thoughts run wild. At this moment, Yoon-won said, "I'm going to study art too. I want to major in the same field as you. It's not that you absolutely have to go. Think about it, if our majors are different, how am I supposed to keep an eye on you? Who knows if you'll get lured away by some random guy?" Yoil found this reason way too absurd. "Don't you hate drawing? Haven't you always hated it?" Yoon-won said in a low voice, "As long as you're by my side, it's fine." Yoil was still uneasy. "You don't have to force yourself for me. I can apply for another major too." But Yoon-won was especially insistent. "No, this is my own issue. I'll work hard together with you too. You just need to take good care of yourself. Looks like you've got one more competitor now. If I really can't hold on, I'll just imagine what it's like to draw on your body. It works surprisingly well and lets me clear my mind in an instant." Yoil listened with a face full of question marks. "What on earth are you imagining?" Yoon-won, happy like a little kitten, rubbed his face against him. "Nothing. I'll give you a live demonstration another day." Seeing that Yoil was single-mindedly focused only on studying, Yoon-won started getting jealous again. Later on, Yoon-won really did go with Yoil to the art cram school. Although he looked like he didn't think much of it, when it actually came time to put pen to paper, Yoon-won still hesitated. At that moment, Yoil, who was beside him, reached out to hold his hand. Yoon-won froze for a second and turned his head in confusion. Yoil was smiling right at him, his gaze very gentle. I just wanted to hold your hand, while no one else is here yet, and the air conditioner is too cold, your hand is a bit chilly." The tips of Yoon-won's ears instantly turned red, but he still nodded. It's already been a week since going to the art museum with Yoon-won. Completely opposite to what he had worried about before, Yoon-won's artistic talent stunned everyone. He got first place in drawing for 2 days in a row, adapted quickly, and was immediately called the star pupil of the cram school. But when Yoil said that he himself was a swindler, Yoon-won rushed over and grabbed him on the spot, pinching his face. "How can you say that my big brother is a swindler? I told you, you're not allowed to get too close with other people." Yoil had to explain that it was meant as a way of praising how amazing he was. Although they repeated more or less the same daily routine every day, as long as he was with Yoon-won, time felt completely filled with happiness. Only sometimes, it would suddenly make his heart race out of control. That day, when Yoil returned to his seat, he immediately saw a sticky note that Yoon-won had put on his desk. Judging from the look of it, he hadn't done his exercises properly again. Yoil's heart sank. Today he had to make sure Yoon-won focused on studying. But just as he went to the bathroom, Yoon-won stole a quick kiss from him. Yoil immediately pushed him away. "You can't keep doing this. The study room is a place for studying. And it's not just the two of us here. Come out." A few days later, Yoil was at home cooking bean sprout soup. At that moment, Yoon-won woke up, saw the pot, and asked, "Why are you cooking this? I was going to make toast for you." Yoil said it was to help him sober up. Yoon-won paused, then asked in a low voice, "So you knew all along?" Yoil exposed it directly. "Knew what? That you drink every night before going to sleep." Yoon-won said he hadn't been able to sleep lately, even after drinking for 2 days in a row. "Have I been keeping you up?" Yoil said no. That only confused Yoon-won more. Then what on earth was he mad about? Looking at him, Yoil lowered his voice. "I'm not angry, I'm worried about you." The next second, Yoon-won simply scooped him up in his arms. "What's there to worry about? I just get like this sometimes. Just drink a little. That's all." In a soft voice, Yoil asked, Is it that the pressure from painting is too much? But Yoon-won told him not to think about those pointless things. That counts as pointless? Yoel's chest tightened. I'm worried about you. Hyung, is that wrong? Or is it that you don't trust me at all, so you don't want to say anything? Yoon-won stared at him intently. One Yoel, the only person who can make me cry or laugh is you. I laugh because of you, I cry because of you, and lately I've been losing sleep because of you too. After agonizing over it, Yoon-won finally spoke the truth. Recently, you won't even let me kiss you. Are you already tired of me this quickly? Because this is a critical period right now. You know how much summer vacation affects the college entrance exam. Hearing him bring that up again, Yoon-won's gaze went cold in an instant. You say with your mouth that I come first, but in your heart, university matters more, doesn't it? If a single kiss is enough to ruin your whole life, then what are you dating me for? As soon as Yoel saw that he was really getting angry, he immediately explained that this wasn't what he meant. Yoon-won, however, turned around and walked straight out. Forget it, as long as I drink and sleep every day, that's enough. Just focus on what you need to do, don't worry about me. Seeing him sitting there alone, holding his anger in, Yoel immediately ran after him. Why would you get mad? Hyung, you only said with your mouth that you believe me anyway, whatever. It's all just a misunderstanding. How could I ever get tired of you? Hyung, it's not like gaming is the only way I can show my feelings. Of course, I also want to kiss you all day long, but I can't let myself lose the chance just because I don't study hard. I only really started preparing for the entrance exam because you were helping me. I don't want to repay you by failing the exam. I will definitely get in, so please endure it a bit longer. Yoon-won slowly cooled down as well. He turned his head and apologized to Yoel, saying, I see you smiling every day. I never thought you'd be thinking like this. I was too selfish. Yoel didn't blame him, he only said, let's end this topic here. Let's go eat. Yoon-won pressed his forehead tightly against his. Wait, let's just stay like this a little longer. I won't touch you, just relax. At that moment, the TV happened to be showing a couple. They used that lock to express their love. Yoel immediately got an idea. Hyung, after the college entrance exam is over, I'm going to officially confess to you. Even though we started in the emergency room, I think confessing in a place like that would be even cooler. Yoon-won felt this wasn't important. Real life wasn't a TV drama. But Yoel said, of course it's important. I want to have everything ready before I confess to you. Yoon-won looked at him. Isn't this the kind of thing you're supposed to keep secret? Seeing how seriously Yoel talked about that lock, Yoon-won didn't really understand, but still felt he was unbearably cute. As long as we hang that kind of lock, we'll never be separated. That way you won't have to feel uneasy anymore. Hyung. The next second, Yoon-won stood up right away. Okay, then let's do it now, immediately. Yoel yanked him back. Not today. Let's meet there on the day the college entrance exam ends. Rather than getting into college, if I treat confessing to Yoon-won Hyung as a small goal, I feel like I'll do better on the test. I'll take care of the rings too. Yoon-won's heart skipped a beat. Is he really planning to propose to me? I'm about to be paralyzed by how cute he is, but it's actually pretty nice that this guy wants a bit of ceremony once in a while. I'll also dress up really handsome like that actor. You can look forward to it a little. Yoon-won walked over and gave him a kiss. No matter what you wear, you look better than that guy. Yoel secretly made up his mind. The confession has to be really cool. With this promise, he could also feel a little less anxious. And then, in the very next second, the guy on TV got dumped. Yoel immediately covered Yoon-won's eyes. What kind of trashy melodrama is this? Change the channel. With that, he hurriedly pressed the remote. The scene shifts and Gang Seo-jae appears on the TV. When I was a child, I was ostracized, and my very existence became their reason to bully me. Is this a double date for 4 people? This is way too romantic, way too blissful. Yoon-won stares at Gang Seo-jae appearing on the TV. Yoel is completely stunned. Yoon-won looks utterly disgusted. This kid is fishy. Isn't he your friend? So he's actually a trainee. Yoel seems a bit absent-minded. Ah yeah. Yoon-won leans on his shoulder, his tone light yet sharp. Hurry up and debut. Then you won't have time to come hang out with you anymore. On the TV, the person next to him brings it up again. As Yoon-won listens, it sounds extremely familiar. He suddenly remembers it's the company his older brother asked him to go to last time. Was Gang Seo-jae a trainee there before? The more he watches, the more annoyed Yoon-won feels. So Yoon-won drags Yoel and goes straight to his older brother Yoon-hyok's place. As soon as the door opens, Yoon-hyok sees them and smiles as he greets them. Welcome. Seeing Yoon-jae about to pull Yoel away, Yoon-won immediately steps forward and throws an arm around Yoel, his voice holding back anger. He's not here to keep you company. Where are you trying to take him? Amused by the way they're acting, Yoon Hyuk turns to Yoon-won and says, Yoon-jae wants to talk with Yaoi alone for a bit. As it happens, I want to have a chat with you too. Do you want a drink? After he said that, the two of them went upstairs together. At that moment, Yoon-won looked at Yoon Hyuk and asked, Hyung, you mentioned an entertainment company to me before, right? What kind of company is it exactly? Yoon Hyuk looked at him and asked back, you mean that one? Originally, it was a management agency run by their mom. They mainly signed painters. When mom saw that you had artistic talent, she wanted to build the company up properly and hand it over to you in the future. Yoon-won cut him off directly. No need to say all that. Anyway, it's just a showbiz company now, isn't it? Yoon Hyuk said yes. After mom passed away, dad transformed the company, then asked him, why bring this up all of a sudden? Are you interested in working now? Yoon-won shook his head and said no. He had just seen someone on TV who used to be a trainee at that company and thought maybe his brother might know him. Yoon-won said that person's name was Gang Seo-jae, but Yoon Hyuk frowned. The name didn't really ring a bell. To be honest, I only kept the company going because I wanted to leave it to you. Yoon-won looked completely baffled. What? I already said I don't need the company, so why are you doing something so pointless? Yoon Hyuk gave a bitter smile and looked at him. Why else? Because I feel guilty toward you, leaving you alone in that house. I still regret it to this day. I'm sorry, you always act so mature, but you're actually still very young. As he said this, it was obvious that something was off with him. Yoon-won snatched his glass away. You're drunk, but Yoon Hyuk showed a relieved smile. But you've seemed much more cheerful lately, so I'm relieved. You're thinking about going back to school on your own, and even bringing a friend home, so it seems you really like him. You should treat him a little better. Because you're the older brother, don't throw tantrums, and don't start hitting people whenever you get angry. Yoon-won listened with a speechless look. Am I still a kid? I already treat him well enough. Stop acting crazy when you're drunk. Stop acting crazy when you're drunk. If you've got something to say it quickly. At this moment downstairs, Yoon-jae said to Yoel, you're fired. Yoel froze on the spot. What? You said you had something to say. You said you had something to say. And it turns out you're just firing me? Was I doing that badly? If that's the reason, I can understand. You really weren't doing all that great, but how could that be the reason? I'm not that heartless yet. I've decided to stop running the online shop. I want to go abroad for a while. Yoel looked completely confused. To immigrate? Yoon-jae said he was only going for a while. Yoon Hyuk said probably 1 to 2 years. Only then did Yoel learn that he was going to France. There's a new drug there, and he can also learn baking while he's at it. Yoel was so happy for him that he couldn't help himself and suddenly rushed up to hug him. Congratulations, Yoon-jae. Will you be completely cured this time? Yoon-jae struggled desperately, telling him to let go of him. Just then, a figure walked over. Yoon-won stepped forward and yanked Yoel away. You're standing way too close. Go home. Yoel looked baffled. We're leaving already? I haven't even talked to Yoon-jae yet. After parting hastily from Yoon-jae that night, Yoel went back and spent the whole night messaging him. When he heard that Yoon-jae had asked him to go to the amusement park together the next day, and that Yoon Hyuk had even said he would bring Yoon-won along, Yoel immediately ran off to tell Yoon-won. But what they ended up agreeing to was a meetup he never expected at all, right there at the amusement park the very next day. Yoel was especially happy, saying it was his first time coming to a place like this. As a child, his biggest wish had been to go around an amusement park with friends. But what Yoon-won was thinking was, it'd be perfect if those two weren't here. What a pity. Yoel said no, it's us who tagged along with them. Besides, it's only fun when there are more people, and the rented school uniforms really suit us and look great. It was also the first time seeing Yoon-jae smile like that. Just then Yoon-jae looked over and called for them to hurry up and come, saying there wasn't much time left and they had to make the most of it. After that, with Yoon-jae, who often came to the amusement park, leading the way, they had an absolute blast. Determined to ride every single attraction today. They went wild the whole day. After coming out of the haunted house, Yoel almost threw up on the spot. Over there, Yoon Hyuk was taking Yoon-jae to play the claw machine for teddy bears. Yoon-won immediately grabbed Yoel's hand, pulled him and ran to the other side. Then they got on the Ferris wheel together. It was very quiet here and very comfortable too. Yoel said it was very comfortable, but was it really okay for them to be walking around alone like this? Yoon-jae would come looking for them. As soon as she heard that, Yoon-won became unhappy and said, what the heck? You've been looking for Yoon-jae all day today. I'm really upset. Yoel said that was because Yoon-jae was about to leave and he wanted to spend a bit more time with him. Then he asked Yoon-won in return, are you upset? After he finished speaking, he took a step forward and gently kissed Yoon-won.